It is an absolutely gorgeous Sunday afternoon in the capital city. And at UFCU Dish Folk Field, Justin LeBron and the Alabama Crimson Tide hope to salvage a game in this three-game series against Carson Tinney and the Texas Longhorns. All Texas in the series opener Friday night. Longhorns with a 10-2 victory, a 16-hit attack, including a two-run homer by Tinney in the first. And then in game two, Ruger Riojas, 11 strikeouts in just over 5 innings of work, kept Texas in the game, and then the Longhorns rally with a 3-run seventh for the win. Welcome into Austin alongside Ty Harrington and Mike Harge. I'm David Salzman. So we knew pitching would be the strength of this team, and that has been the case all season long. But Ty, they have been as dominant as we have seen them in these last two nights.
I mean, it's been really impressive. I mean, it's starting from the first, at bat against Alabama. Dylan Volantis, if we get a look at his stuff, I mean, look, that breaker was so electric and so angry all day against the Alabama hitters. They had a hard time as others. Then they follow up with Ruger Riojas, who comes out with his four-seamer with great carry to it, down and away fastballs, and then the breaker that goes with it. And to end the games, we're going to go to freshman Sam Cozart for 3 innings in game 1, and then we're going to roll him back out there in game 2 to finish off the second game. The pitching has been great, Mike.
And this is what it's all about when you start to look at how the pitching has performed this weekend. You see yesterday's performance, 19 Ks, tied for the most in a 9-inning game in the program history, and 36 Ks this weekend.
Volantis' 12 strikeouts, a career high, and then Riojas and Cozart doing the job as well. Luke Harrison gets the Sunday start for Texas today. The senior from Friendswood, Texas, 4-1 on the season, an ERA of just over 4. Not as much of a strikeout pitcher as Volantis and Riojas, but still with a strikeout per inning this year.
Yeah, that 7-pitch mix is tough on hitters with a 92 fastball on top of it, 2 different breakers, Mike.
First pitch strike to Bryce Fowler, the Alabama center fielder. We are underway from UFCU Dish Folk Field today. Tide looking to break a 5-game conference losing streak. They come in 8-9 in the SEC. Texas tied for second at 11-5.
You start to look at that right there from the very beginning. Comes in and throws the first 2 pitches for strikes. That's what it's about, coming back to bounce back. Now he's got to finish it off, but you've got to be happy to see that right away.
Breakout season for Fowler, coming in hitting .322. Just gets a piece and stays alive, an 0-2 count. He's 1 for 6 this series with a couple of walks and 2 of Alabama's 3 runs this weekend.
I would love to see a data sheet that the opposing hitters have to deal with when they look at the Texas, and meaning sequence of pitches and what that looks like. There's no pattern that I've seen so far this weekend for sure.
Make it strikeout number 37 of the weekend for Texas pitching, and there's one down. Here's the order for Alabama today for head coach Rob Vaughn. Justin LeBron will step to the plate in the future first-round draft pick, 2 for 7 this weekend with 3 stolen bases. He's on a 9-game hit streak. Brady Neal has been Alabama's best hitter this season, hitting over .370. Couple of new Tide players in the order today, and the right fielder Peyton Steele batting 7th, and 2 batters before the designated hitter Will Plattner will hit 5th. And so here is LeBron. He's reached base 20 straight games, in addition to that 9-game hit streak, which is a season high. Batting .273 on the season with 12 home runs, and another strike from Harrison. It's 0-1.
Coach, I wanted to ask you this, because as a coach sitting in that dugout and you got your starting pitcher on the mound, what Luke Harrison has been able to show you immediately has got to be impressive, because now he's bouncing back and attacking that strike zone.
He is. I mean, Mike, 4 of his first 5 pitches were strikes. I mean, it makes you feel comfortable when you're sitting in the dugout wondering. And then it's not just with a certain pitch. It's multiple pitches. It's been 2 different breakers and his fastball he's been able to land.
He's coming off the worst start of his career. Just got 2 outs last weekend in College Station, allowed 8 runs. 2-2 now the count.
Like we were talking about before the game, this is a 3rd different lineup Alabama's played, with multiple changes in the lineup each time. And what that tells you is they're searching for what that offense can look like or needs to look like.
The letter of the weekend is K. 2 for Harrison, 38 this weekend now.
Well, the thing about it is, you talked about it, Coach, being able to attack the strike zone, but doing it with different pitches. He set him up with a fastball, but then comes back with that curveball right in the middle of the zone. Wasn't trying to fool you. You just swung over it, and you continue to throw strikes, and that's the impressive part for Luke Harrison.
Now Brady Neal. He's reached base in 31 straight games, including a 6-game hit streak. And this is lined over the glove of the third baseman, Temba Becerra, for a base hit. Neal rounding first. On his way to second. Throw is perfect from Anthony Peck Jr. And Neal is out trying to stretch that to a double.
What an unbelievable play by Anthony Peck Jr. We were watching him at the beginning of warm-ups and watching the way he was attacking down the line. This is textbook. Get there, cut it off, turns his body around and makes a strong throw to throw him out by a couple feet. And Neal knew before he got there, he looked at him and like, how'd he get to that ball?
With Ty Harrington and Mike Harge, I'm David Salzman. Here's the Texas lineup that we will see for head coach Jim Schlossnagle this afternoon. And this lineup has worked. It's the first time all season that Robbins and Tinney have been 1-2 in the order, and they have been tremendous, not just this weekend, but in the last 5 games, an OPS of almost 2,000 with 7 home runs. Darian Pendergrass gets his second start of the weekend. He's in right field and batting 9th.
Go ahead, Mike. I mean, look, I know you've been talking about this order for 2 days since they made the change, so I'm going to let you get busy with it.
Yeah, I'm excited about this because you know this when you put a lineup together, you want your top hitters to get more at-bats during the game. And as obviously you look at those numbers and what they've been able to do, you kind of squeeze in Adrian Rodriguez, and it sounds crazy to say squeeze in Adrian Rodriguez, him coming back from that injury. But look at that lineup. The changes are in the right spot, I believe. And I was excited to see the changes when they happened.
Miles Upchurch gets the start for Alabama. The 6'4 freshman from Odenton, Maryland, has the best ERA among weekend starters at 3.50. He's 4-2 on the season, 46 strikeouts, and 36 innings of work. And Ty, in his last 3 SEC starts, he's just allowed 4 runs in 13 1/3.
And for him to be successful today, he's going to have to throw strikes. The wind is going to help you a little bit. The ballpark's playing a little bit bigger than normal because it's blowing out of the north, in from center. But you've got to be able to throw strikes and execute your pitches and create some early contact against the Longhorn hitters.
Yeah, and the last 2 road starts in conference play, Upchurch has walked 10. Time called before the first pitch to Aiden Robbins, and the catcher Brady Neal is on his way to the Alabama dugout. Perhaps a communication issue?
Yeah, probably. They're late figuring it out or getting the, starting the game. But, it's interesting. Mike, this is, you and I go back when we had to catchers gave signs, right? And I read this all the time when we do these games about it's a 7-pitch mix, 8-pitch mix. I mean, nowadays, if they didn't have this communication, they'd have to take their glove off and start or start adding up like 8. We're going with number 7, but it's made it efficient for these guys because it's real. I mean, these guys, it got so popular to add a cutter, which really was an old school slider for us, back in the 80s and 90s. But the technology has made that available. Otherwise, those guys would be down there, shooting signs now for 20 minutes in between each pitch.
Almost like there's a runner on base or something. You got to change up your signs, but no, it's actually one pitch.
Yeah. It takes about 3 minutes to put it down there, then all of a sudden the pitcher shakes and goes, now I want to go to another one, and here we go again through the whole nother sequence.
Well, Rob Vaughn's squad has had it tough. Again, a 5-game conference losing streak coming in, but what a job he's done. His 3rd season in Tuscaloosa, 40 regular season wins last season was the most for the Tide program in almost 25 years. As a head coach, going back to his years at Maryland, he has been to 5 straight NCAA tournaments. So no question it's going to become 6 this season.
No doubt about it. And we got a chance to talk to him earlier this week, and he's one of those guys that when you hear somebody say he just gets it, he's definitely that type of coach. He understands today's climate when it comes to athletics and college sports, and he's been able to adjust every step of the way. But the one thing that I always revert back to, and you can speak to this too, Coach, is you understand what it's like to be in that dugout for these players. That's the thing that's everything to me. He gets it.
Well, I think one of the words you just said in that sentence describes him for the players, right? I mean, he is a player's coach, and nowadays you've got to be really a relationship-driven coach if you're going to be able to get these guys to be their very best every day.
An 0-2 count to Aiden Robbins. Mentioned leading off for the first time this weekend, and before he was told that Friday, Jim Schlossnagle, his head coach, said, don't change who you are. Well, he hasn't. 5 for 7 this series with a walk. On a hop, Justin LeBron deep at short. Long throw. We've seen that all weekend. Another great defensive play.
Yeah, this he ranges back to his right. It's a decent backhand. Not that tough of it, but the throw because he's going away from first base. Get another look at this. Watch. He goes back, retreats, backhand, but he does a good job of getting a strong right foot on the ground, and he knows how to skip the ball in to first base with the accuracy.
If he'd have taken one more step, he would have been safe at first base. So he understood how to get that ball on the transfer out quickly.
He gives me Carlos Correa vibes, guys, defensively. Where's the same number? I mean, I think that's, what, the 4th, maybe the 5th web gem he has had this weekend here. So now Carson Tinney, who, like Robbins, has had himself a weekend. 2-run blast in the first inning on Friday. And when they used to keep track of the stat, we could have said he had the game-winning RBI yesterday. The single scored Casey Board to make it 2-1 in the 7th. He's on an 8-game hit streak and is 15 for 28 in his last 8. For a 1,200 OPS this year. He's worth the count, 3-0.
Look at this. I mean, 537 home runs, 536. Again, streak is. I don't know that does it justice. But again, I don't know another word to describe it. What he's going or what he's doing right now. I was curious. David asked me the other day if he ever had a streak like this, and I was like, if he says yes, I don't know. I don't know. Well, no, and I was like.
He did tell us that he has never had a hot streak like this. He draws his 9th walk in his last 9 games, and his 33 walks this season leads the Longhorns. He's on with 1 down.
The thing about his approach has been very impressive. Saw the home run yesterday, backside, ball stayed up and away. He was able to drive it out to right field. But go back and look at some of the numbers of his base hits and during this streak. They're over 97 miles per hour with the exit velocity, and a couple of them over 114. So you understand what it's like to square up some baseballs.
Adrian Rodriguez back from injury this weekend. 2 for 8, sac fly yesterday, and obviously most importantly, Mike, he has reported no pain in his hand.
Yeah, this is good right here. I mean, when you can get a guy with this type of stature coming into the season, a lot of folks, he was on a lot of people's radar. Well, you understand what the injury looks like. I've had that hamate injury. Wasn't allergic to the staples or anything like that, and I wouldn't know how it feels to deal with that, with the tenderness. But for him to be able to be back in the lineup, I know it's good for Coach Schlossnagle because he's a high-energy type of guy, and he doesn't need to be in the dugout.
3-0 now the count. After walking Tinney, Upchurch has thrown 3 straight balls to the sophomore from Flower Mound, Texas. Four-pitch walk. So we mentioned it right off the top with Upchurch. He has struggled on the road with his control. Back-to-back walks now, Todd.
Yeah, that's it. Look, that's going to be an issue. At some point in time, you're flirting with it if you continue to work guys. And certainly when you start pushing them into scoring position as well, your pitch count gets up. Well, what's interesting, he was able to land the first 2 breakers he threw. The very first 2 pitches he threw were breakers. Since then, he hasn't landed that breaker. He's gone to 2 or 3 different changeups and wasn't able to continue to throw strikes with them or his fastball. And I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back to his breaker, because it seems to be the pitch he does have the best command. Is they're going to have a chance to talk about it at the mound.
So Anthony Pack Jr. is now due up, and this is a good time to relive what we saw just a couple of minutes ago. This defensive play to end the top of the first.
And again, this is a young man who's played multiple positions since he's been here at the University of Texas. He's been in right field, he's been in left field, but for him to get to that ball as quickly as he did and was able to make that strong of a throw shows you that he's not just a hitter. He's definitely working on his defense, and that right there could have potentially saved a big inning for Alabama.
Yeah, I think just getting comfortable in one spot has helped him.
First 4-hit game of his Texas career Friday. 1 for 3 with a walk yesterday. He's on an 11-game hit streak. He's best on the Longhorns in batting average in SEC games, .407. 1-1.
He uses every square foot of the field, and I think that's has a lot to do with it. I mean, he makes himself accessible in the barrel available to the opposite side, the middle. He can pull side. He'll pull breakers. He has the ability, if it's down and in, to drop the head of the bat and get busy on it, but that barrel stays flush to the whole field right now, and his mindset is too.
I think that's the key part right there, that mindset that he has.
2-2.
We all know that this is not an easy game, especially at this level when you're playing like this. And then you look at what's happening with these freshmen under Coach Schlossnagle. Look at those names that are out there. Matt Carpenter, long time in the big leagues. Grohoviak, I mean, has he made it out lately?
Yeah, no, not many.
Called strike 3. So Upchurch comes back with a big strikeout, and there's 2 down.
It's a backdoor slider. Again, that's what he's had the most success with as far as executing strikes. And people see, oh, why don't you swing it? Well, that ball starts off to a hitter off the plate, and then it comes rushing back and clips just the end of it, or the end of the plate. But as a hitter, you kind of give up just ever so little on it. It comes back and gets it.
First pitch strike to Ethan Mendoza. He was the leadoff man all season until this weekend. 3rd straight game he's hit in the 5 spot. Went 0 for 4 yesterday. And 1 for 4 with a couple of RBIs in the 10-2 win Friday night. 0-2 the count.
You hit the nail on the head, Ty, when you were talking about his breaking ball. Upchurch being able to throw his breaking ball. He's found that breaking ball, and that has been what he's been throwing the most for strikes. So now they're staying with it as of right now to try to slow down this momentum for Texas.
Neal keeps it in front of him. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that was a bigger breaker. That was more like a curveball as opposed to that 85, 84 mile-an-hour slider that he was throwing early in the inning.
Upchurch, perfect game. USA's top-rated right-handed pitcher and the number 2 overall prospect in the state of Maryland. We're going to help Alabama to salvage a game in the series. Runners on the move. No throw.
I bet Texas steals third base as successful as any college team I've seen this year, and they probably steal third as often as they steal second base. And they do such a good job of reading the rhythm of the pitcher and the timing of his leg kick.
Mendoza stays alive, still 2-2.
And it looked like Brady Neal thought that was strike 3, because after that he looked back at the home plate umpire, and then you could see Vaughn talking to the home plate umpire as well, wondering where that pitch was located.
Good take, full count.
I think he's going to go right back to a breaker again. I mean, he might, the same thing has happened the other day with a base open. They threw a change up to Mendoza. I mean, it's his best pitch right now. And Mendoza's got to at least be thinking to the right side of it to try to stay in there longer.
3 walks this inning. Bases loaded. Tema Becerra coming up.
All this, and if you're Alabama, you make one good pitch, you get out of this. But that's one of the hardest things to keep reminding yourself to a young pitcher is, hey, keep making pitches. You're one pitch away from getting out of this inning.
So Becerra, the senior from Clovis, California, scored the tying run in the 7th inning yesterday after leading off with a walk. 1 for 7 this weekend. Strike call.
This is one of those situations, too, as a hitter, as experienced as Becerra is, he's definitely going up there looking for something off speed. We've talked about it. That seems to be the most consistent pitch that he's thrown for a strike. I'm looking breaking ball this at bat.
Neal, nicely done. 1-1.
That's a diving catch in the outfield is what that is. That just saved a run.
That might be Sports Center.
There were questions before the season, really closer to after last season, whether Neal would come back, but decided to return to Tuscaloosa. This has been his best year. Upchurch behind another hitter. Shown his power this season. Really started at Dykton Park in Houston. 5 home runs this year after 3, his first 3 seasons at Stanford. That's foul. 2-2 count.
We talked about it coming into this game when you got a chance to see that he had 10 walks over his last 2 weekends as a starting pitcher. We know that Texas loves to take a lot of pitches. You already see this is going to be pitch number 29 in the first inning. And the problem is the inconsistency in which he's missing.
Jim Schlossnagle has said many times, we want to lead the country in pitches per plate appearance. So far, so good. Got him. An up and down inning for Upchurch, but he gets out of the bottom of the first with no runs across. Texas leaves them loaded, and we're scoreless through 1. SEC baseball is never predictable. Auburn lost the series opener, then rallied to win 2 at Florida, including a 5-run ninth yesterday to give them a 8-5 victory in Gainesville. Vanderbilt had to fend off Kentucky. A couple of runs in the ninth for the Wildcats, but the Commodores win 8-7 to even up that series. And Georgia in Fayetteville, 9 home runs, a 12-run ninth. That's a football score, 26-14, the win to give the Bulldogs the win in the series over the Hogs.
You're right. It is a football score, but it's from two teams that are normally pretty good in baseball, so you don't expect to see that type of scoring in an SEC matchup against two quality baseball teams.
You know, it's interesting because it was in Fayetteville, right? And that field sits different. The wind blows out if it's out of the north as opposed to the south. I don't know. I think somebody said, you might even said it, there were 9 homers, I think, hitting the game, right? I mean, I'm assuming the wind had a little bit of a play into this.
SEC record for home runs in a game in conference competition. 0-2 to Eric Hines, who got the golden sombrero yesterday. Struck out 4 times, but promising freshman, hitting .326 coming in. Takes this pitch, and it's 1-2.
To Mike's point on the 9 home runs, these are 2 really, great organizations and really known for their pitching and their arms.
Lined right into the glove of Becerra, 1 down. Look at the teams here, guys, who are hovering around 500, maybe just a little bit over, who are fighting to host a regional. Now, Georgia, Texas A&M, they've been red hot, and they're getting separation from the rest of the teams, although Ole Miss has won 8 straight. They're 10-7 in conference play, but Auburn, Florida, 10-8. Mississippi State, Oklahoma, 9-8. By the way, Florida's top 5 RPI team coming into this weekend.
Yeah, it's interesting when you watch the Florida team and where they've gone each year. They start off, some years they're right there in the thick of things, and then other years you're like, what is this baseball program? But they find a way to get in there, and you talked about their RPI. That's huge for them, especially where they are located right now in the standings.
Off the bat of Will Plattner, a dribbler to short. Adrian Rodriguez on to first, and there's 2 down. So far, Harrison's faced the minimum with 2 outs here in the top half of the 2nd inning. So this is through yesterday's games. Alabama, even with the 2 losses here, they're just down to 6, came in at number 4. Texas number 2. There are 5 SEC teams in the top 7 of the RPI and 10 in the top 30.
Well, one thing about when you play in the SEC, you're not going backwards. Even if you take a loss, that ball ends up hitting him. And what I mean by that, you could have a weekend where you lose on the road 2 out of 3, and your RPI might move 2 spots or 1.5. If you're depending on obviously who you're playing and how they're playing, but just now, if you win a series, then let's just say you're A&M and you're 11 in the RPI, and you win a series on the road, or you do something, you just keep climbing up RPI value wise, and it just. Yeah, you think about this, Mike. They win the 2 games last weekend in College Station, and look what it did to their RPI.
Yep, and they brought out the brooms to do that. So, it's one of those things, too, where you start to really understand what the programs are all about, and the fact of the matchups here in the SEC means so much. The slogan is, it just means more, and it truly does because of what we talked about hosting some of these regionals as well.
Every coach really says you just got to get through it. Jim Schlossnagle said that multiple times this season. He says, this conference is crazy, man. Those are his words. And he says, we just want to get over 15 conference wins, and if we're healthy come regional time, we'll be fine. Obviously, the Longhorns on pace for more than that, coming in at 11-5. Rob Vaughn's Crimson Tide down to 8-9 now. Roller coaster ride for them in conference play. Got swept by Kentucky, then won 8 of 9 conference games. But they've lost 5 straight in SEC competition. 0-2 the count to Peyton Steele. Takes his pitch for a ball.
They may just add to that things mean more things. Yeah, and we're just better. They are just good. This league is such a grind, and I mean, every weekend everybody starts to say, well, there's a marquee week or series. And then you start reading through there and you go, wait a minute, there's 6 of them. Wait, no, there's 7.
It does make it fun for the fan bases, too. Think about that. You know, every single weekend you're going to see a top-ranked matchup and top-ranked pitchers going at it. And then, of course, you talk about the Justin LeBron coming in this weekend. People get a chance to see a future first-round pick. You bring in the transfer portal and everything that goes with that. And you've spoken on this multiple times, the ages of the players, and it makes it a much better baseball game.
It's a clean game. I mean, it really is. They're going to make mistakes. The game dictates that, but it's a much more mature game.
Steele winds this into left field base hit. Vaughn stops at second. That's the first hit in an SEC game in Steele's career. The sophomore has allowed Alabama to have a threat here, first and second with 2 down.
It looked like this breaker ran back into him, Mike, and he was what Alabama has not been able to do is get to the middle of the baseball and even get to the bottom of it very much from a solid perspective. And they've been over the top of it because there's been so many breakers that Texas has thrown to them that they have not been able to complete the barrels through the baseball very long.
Jason Torres takes the first pitch ball. Jim Schlossnagle hoping to lead Texas to Omaha, which would be his 3rd team to lead to the College World Series. 5 appearances there while head coach at TCU and 2 at Texas A&M, including the championship series 1 season ago. He was asked about the 36 strikeouts by Texas pitchers coming into this game in 2 games. Now it's up to 38. He was pretty modest. He said, we're just doing a good job executing pitches, I'd say. But Harrison now behind 2-0. And off the bat of Torres into left center field for a base hit. Vaughn comes in to score, and Alabama, for the 2nd straight day, has the game's first run.
You know, we talked about it with Torres earlier. You know, yesterday he was having a tough time at the plate and didn't look comfortable up there, just kept trying to figure out the pitches. Well, he got a fastball that kind of ran back over the middle of the plate, and he short and quick right back up the box to drive in the run. As you can hear it when it hits the barrel, it wasn't barely getting out there.
RBI number 36 for Torres this season. It's really the first time all weekend, guys, the bottom of the lineup has been productive for Alabama. Brennan Holt swings and misses, but the pitch gets away from Tenney, and on his way to second is Torres. There's 2 runners in scoring position now.
I don't know if they're asking whether this was a foul ball or what's going on, because I think there was some discussion about the runner sending him back. Yeah, I mean,
Holt will go back to first.
Yeah, I thought it was fouled off too by the way Tenney reacted to it, but then they just kept it in play, and I was like, so the home plate umpire, I didn't see the home plate umpire make a call. We got to look at this on replay. It was off his glove. I didn't see the home plate umpire throw his hands up.
It looked like he was going to,
but
then
he did
stopped.
not. Yeah, he did not throw his hands up.
Nobody did.
To deaden the ball. You know, afterwards when Tenney asked, he finally threw his hands up to stop play.
Interesting.
Rob Vaughn gets the explanation from home plate umpire Nathan Huber, and Holt at the plate with an 0-1 count. Runners on the corners, and now the count is 0-2.
I'm glad you caught that, Ty, because I was looking at the same thing and wondering if it was, and I saw Coach Schlossnagle come out to ask the same question.
Brennan Holt, 1 for 3 yesterday, his only hit of the weekend. He's reached base 9 times his last 5 games. Behind in the count 1-2.
Breaker almost grazed him enough to get. I mean, look, if you're a hitter, you see a wounded breaker up there and you got 2 strikes on you, you find a way to get in front of it and make it look normal.
Yep.
Instead, here comes the 2-2. Inside again. Crowd wanted the strike, but the count is full.
Didn't miss by much. Did not miss by much. And you even saw Rodriguez at shortstop start running in to the dugout thinking he was going to get a call, strike 3.
The payoff coming with 2 down and 2 runners on. Holt works the walk. 4th straight Alabama hitter to reach base after there were 2 outs, and the bases are loaded for the top of the order.
That's where it starts to get dangerous. You get the 9-hole hitter who can flip the lineup for you and get you back to some of your better hitters at the top of the lineup. And he took that 2-2 pitch, which was a tough pitch to take. It was called a ball, but that is a borderline ball strike, and he took it, earned another pitch, and then earned himself a walk. Now you got the top of the order coming up with Fowler.
Strike call. He struck out his first time up against Harrison, 1 for 7 in this series. See, his conference play numbers, 362. That includes hitting .500 in the Oklahoma series, .455 in both the Auburn and Florida series. Now 0-2.
Right guy, right spot for Alabama right here. You talked about those numbers. Got behind in the count. Now we got to see if Harrison is going to be able to deliver a finish-off pitch right here, or is he going to be able to battle his at-bat?
Got him. Bama leaves them loaded after Texas did the same in the bottom of the first. Still 1-0 Crimson Tide.
Yeah, Luke Harrison dialing up a breaker away out of the strike zone. He gets Fowler to chase it. Tenney traps it, steps on home plate, and finishes off the inning.
Of the NFL draft is Wednesday, and it'll be our final SEC Now spring football show to take one last look at the SEC draft eligible players who could have their name called in Pittsburgh. Coverage begins 1 Eastern, noon Central on the SEC Network and the ESPN app again on Wednesday. Pretty often we see Texas or Alabama players get their name called in the first round of the NFL draft. That's possible this week.
Yeah, it's a big week. Lives will be changed. Before the game, we had
Ashton Larson trying to beat up the bunt, but nice play by Torres. There's one down.
We had Jahdae Barron out throwing out the first pitch. He was a guy who had his name called in the NFL draft just a year ago. So lives will change, and they change pretty quickly as well. Don't want to take anything away from that great play by Torres coming in to field that on the run, one hop, and makes a strong throw to get Larson out at first.
So Miles Upchurch walked the bases loaded in the first, got out of the jam. Now with one down in the second, faces Casey Borba.
A little surprised he went early, though, in the count. You got a guy who has been in and out of the strike zone, you know, not consistent with it yet.
And to your point, now 2-0.
And it's just sometimes, and you don't have to. I mean, you could tell the hitters, look, get something you can swing at, get something you can drag bunt, which is what he was attempting to do. And you see something you feel like he couldn't. He got it in the right position down the third baseline. He just got it up too high.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Just make a guy work a little bit more because his numbers are up. 33 pitches already in the top of the second. I mean, the bottom of the second. So you want to make sure that you continue to put pressure on him to throw strikes.
Big cut, 2-2. Borba scored the go-ahead run in the seventh yesterday, went 1 for 2 with the walk. So the move back to first base with Adrian Rodriguez healthy and back at short has helped Borba. A couple of hits this weekend after he just had one in his previous 5 SEC games, playing a third. Dribbler, and on the shift, Brennan Holt charges, throws, and there's 2 down.
But if you're going to play with the shift, which almost everybody does now, your second baseman's become shortstop, your shortstop become second baseman. You have to be able to make this play, which is from the middle part of the field, which is at unusual angles for second basemen to have to come get the ball and throw from. But heck, at this level, most of these guys in both of these programs were all shortstops coming out of high school anyway, and they just need to be, they practice the shift so much in practice now, just from communication and fielding and throwing.
Strike called Darian Pendergrass. What a week for the graduate from Hartsville, South Carolina. First start as a Longhorn came Tuesday against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Went 1 for 2, 3 runs batted in, and in the series opener Friday night, 2 for 3 with a run scored. Behind to the count 0-2.
He's making the most of his opportunities. You start to look around and see guys that work and transfer to another school, come back from injury, and not get as many opportunities. Well, he's making the most of his.
This line foul.
Well, if you're going to holler, put me in, coach, you better be ready when they do. I said, if you're going to sing the song, then you got to be able to produce when you get that moment. And older hitters often are those guys that when you put them in those situations, they maturely understand the situation better.
Upchurch has trouble but recovers. Oh, not a great throw, and Pendergrass is safe.
I was just about to say, you cannot play with the baseball with Pendergrass running down that line. When guys can run, it makes everybody move a little bit quicker. Nice little comebacker here, and Upchurch bounced off the mound, but then tried to flip it over there. Speed kills, puts pressure on you.
It did. It put pressure on him. He didn't throw that baseball. He just guided it over there. And he couldn't, if he'd have fielded it clean, he'd have been able to take 3-4 steps and underhand feed it, which is what you want your pitchers to do, but he didn't come up with it clean. I don't know if Pendergrass is hurt. They're out to check on him with a trainer.
Jim Schlossnagle said yesterday one reason why it took a while for Pendergrass to get this time is that he had back issues when he arrived on campus, but mentioned him being fully healthy coming into this week.
He might have pulled up when he got to first base a little bit. I think that's where a coach is really trying to make sure that he's okay. But as you mentioned, Coach, when you start asking for that playing time and you get it, you're not. It's going to take a little bit more to come out and get me out of this ball game.
You're going to get a tow truck to get me out of here, right?
For sure.
Great story. His first 2 seasons, Pendergrass at NAIA Spartanburg Methodist, and then at the College of Charleston last season, 43 stolen bases. He's going to be able to go to second here on the wild pitch.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play in the game much longer. Watching that gate, trying to get down to second base, it didn't look natural. Yeah, I knew it. It did not look natural.
Yeah, Jim Schlossnagle's out of the dugout, and it looks like Jaden Duplantier is going to replace Pendergrass now. What a shame, because again, it just took so long for Pendergrass to have the impact he's had this week. Hopefully he won't be out long.
That's right. He was going to first,
And it looked like that knee buckled a little bit when he hit that bag, and then you see him grab the hammy.
Hamstring.
Yep. And then you see the way he's going to second. It does not look like a guy that thinking he can get to third. And as a base runner, you're always thinking about that next base.
Picked up by Aiden Robbins, and it's a 1-1 count.
That's a pretty good changeup. 82 miles an hour. And that's about 10 miles an hour, which is what you want, 9 to 11 miles per hour off your fastball, which is about a foot and a half of recognition for a hitter. Here he finds himself again with runners in scoring position, but one pitch away from getting out of it.
Has an RBI this series, 6 in the 2 games last weekend in College Station. 2-2 the count. This is the guy Texas wants up in this situation. In SEC play overall, 8 home runs in conference play to lead the league, also leading the SEC and slugging OPS and 3rd in hits.
That was good.
Yeah.
To center. Bryce Fowler comes in, makes the grab, and Pendergrass, after reaching base, Duplantier replacing him, is left on base. Texas has left 4 so far.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Last 6 national champions have been from the SEC, and in the latest projected field of 64 by D1 Baseball, Texas and Alabama part of the top 16 seeds. Longhorns a national seed at 3. We'll see where they put Florida after they dropped 2 to Auburn over the weekend. Georgia at 5, and Alabama coming into this weekend, the 12 seed, according to D1 Baseball.
A lot between here and there, I can tell you that, but it's a pretty good idea of what it can look like. I would like to know what, there's no way to know this without digging back through that. How many breakers, how many balls has Alabama swung over the top of this weekend completely? And obviously it talks about the breakers that Texas throws, but even some fastballs. I mean, it's just, you know, when you're hitting, trying to get to that middle of that baseball is a challenge we've talked about, but they have swung over the top of the baseball all weekend.
LeBron strikes out for the 2nd time, 4th strikeout for Harrison, 40th by Texas pitching this weekend. 1 out in the 3rd.
You know, the thing that I keep looking at, Ty, and I'm glad you brought up that number of how these guys continue to swing over the baseball, I attribute it to the fact that Texas has kept them off balance so much with the way that they've gone about it. You talked about the big breaking ball, then they'll run that fastball up and tight, on you and then just changing eye level the entire weekend.
Dribbler off the bat of Brady Neal. Casey Borb is there. 3 unassisted for the second out.
Harrison off to a good start this the third inning, but coming off the last inning when he gave up a run and had a handful of base runners. But in the last inning too, he got the first 2 guys quick, and they came up with a hit by pitch and a couple hits afterwards.
Typically, he has been an innings eater for Texas. Now, before this weekend, he started on Saturday, so those innings key to help rest most of the bullpen for Sunday. Now, we mentioned really struggled last week coming out of the rain delay at Texas A&M and wound up just getting 2 outs, allowing 8 runs. But before that, in his first 4 SEC starts of the season, 25 into third innings pitched, so that averages out to more than 6 innings per start and an ERA of 2.49.
It's okay.
By the way, the loss last weekend, just the 2nd in his career. This is his 70th appearance as a Longhorn, going back to 2022.
I didn't know that. I did not. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd like to say about it. We probably don't have time to how impressive that is.
27th start of his career this afternoon. Hines now behind 0-2.
Kid competes. That's what it's all about. Give me the ball. I'm going to go out there and do what I need to do to help my team be in the best position to win a ball game. And he answers the bell time in and time out.
Well, to your point, one of the fundamentals of executing a pitch or anything in the game is competing and having the confidence to do it. I mean, you can sit in the bullpen and execute pitches all you want, but when you get in there and the guy you're competing with one-on-one of that hitter is going to dictate a lot of your execution.
Hines swings and misses. 5 strikeouts for Luke Harrison. And for the first time, he gets Alabama to go down 1-2-3. Texas bats hoping to get to work, down 1-0. Rob Vaughn's Alabama Crimson Tide, a 1-0 lead over Texas as we head to the bottom half of the third. And we're joined now by the Alabama head coach. Appreciate you joining us, not just today, but all weekend long. So obviously your freshman pitcher Upchurch got into trouble, walking the bases loaded in the first inning, but got a big strikeout to end the jam. Your thoughts on your young hurler through his first 2 innings?
Yeah, man, the thing I keep talking about, Miles, to people about him, man, is just the poise on the mound, and it's a young pup, and he's had a couple scenarios this year where he's gotten himself into some jams, and just seems like nothing phases him, man, and this is a good test for him. It's just a heck of an environment against a really good team, and, gets himself into a bad spot there, and doesn't flinch, makes pitches when he has to, and that's kind of been his MO all year now. I sleep a lot better. I rest a lot easier in this pen when we don't make it interesting. But, man, he's got great poise, and he's just scratching the surface of what he's going to be, man. He's going to be a special arm for us.
Coach, offensively, obviously it hadn't been the ideal weekend, but you got a big hit last inning to be able to drive in a run to take the lead 1-0. What is it that your team has to do at the plate to continue to compete?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no secret. I mean, when you punch out 30-plus times like we did the last 2 days on the road, you're going to lose, you know. And so that's a big piece of it. But, I mean, it's so easy to say, you know, like it's easy to say don't strike out. It's like, why are we doing it? Are we chasing? Are we passive in the zone? Are we just getting beat in the zone with pitches? And sometimes guys with really good stuff can beat you in the zone, and kind of happened with Volantis. I thought on Friday night, I thought we chased some, but, man, we got beat in the zone by him a lot. So big thing for us, man, is you just got to keep setting up innings, you know, and that's the big thing. We just haven't had a whole lot this weekend where we've been able to just set up an inning and put some pressure on them. We did a good job there in the second. You got nobody on, 2 outs, starts with a hit by pitch, and got a couple 2-strike hits, and then kind of parlayed that into a big 2-out hit. You know, big thing we need, man. We got to find a way to kind of lengthen it out. You know, we've had some of these 1-run innings in the last 10 days, and that's how good teams beat you when you leave guys out there. So we got to do a better job of finishing innings, but proud of Torres getting up there and getting a big hit for us, getting on the board early.
Thanks for joining us, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Roll Tide.
Rob Vaughn's hurler on the mound today, Miles Upchurch, already up to 49 pitches. A full count to Carson Tinney, who's leading off the third. A 1-0 Alabama lead. On an RBI single by Jason Torres, scoring Luke Vaughn in the second. Called strike 3. Third strikeout for Upchurch, and there's one down.
This ball just barely nicks the outer half, or outer corner, I shouldn't say half, corner of the plate. As it does, it comes right back, right at the kneecaps. Carson Tinney originally may have thought it was going to be a walk because it started off the plate and came back, but then probably realized it did catch the corner.
Back to Rob Vaughn. He's a Texas guy, born in Corpus Christi, but then moved to Alaska for 7 years. His dad was in the oil business, but then moved back to the Lone Star State. This is ripped off the bat of Adrian Rodriguez, but foul. 0-1 the count. And he went to Humble, Texas, just north of Houston, since the 2nd grade. His dream was to play at Texas A&M because his dad played there, his dad, Eddie. And this is Rob's words. He told us when we talked to him earlier this week, I wasn't good enough to go to Texas A&M, so he went to Kansas State, had a nice career there. But during the recruiting process, his dad told him, son, you can go wherever you want, but not 1 penny of my money is going to the University of Texas.
Going back to that rivalry, huh?
That's an Aggie through and through.
I've heard it said before.
Right.
Both ways.
Both ways, I was just about to say. It's just not a one-way street when it comes to that kind of conversation.
You know, Austin Wood is one of Rob Vaughn's best friends. Talked about all the strikeouts that Texas has had this weekend. 19 strikeouts yesterday, tied for the most in a 9-inning game. Of course, Austin Wood was part of that unbelievable regional matchup in 2009 against Boston College. That's where Texas has the record for strikeouts, 22. But that was in a 25-inning game. Wood pitched 13 shutout innings, did not allow a hit in the first 12 and a third. He didn't get the win, but Texas wound up winning the game. Were either of you here for that?
I'm sure Ty was. Because Ty doesn't miss.
Hines and left comes in, and there's two.
Especially regional stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like regionals, you don't miss those types of deals.
Well, we were in that regional in 2009 and got eliminated by Boston College, and we got eliminated by Texas, and then they squared off, and that game went on and on and on and on and on, and then on some more, and then rightfully so. Austin Wood is part of the lore of the University of Texas. You do that in that moment, you're going to stick around the history book for a while.
There's Anthony Peck Jr., who struck out his first time up. I asked because I was at a party that night, and you could see the lights at Dish Folk Field, and the party got late. It got to be like midnight. I looked outside, and I was like, well, the lights are still on. What's going on? Game ended around, 2 a.m.? Drag bunt, but foul. 169 pitches in Wood's appearance, and as you said, he is in Texas lore forever because of that one outing.
Think about that, 169 pitches in a college baseball game. That right now, that's something that would happen in softball across the street, you know? It's not something in baseball with the way that they protect everybody's arms nowadays and the movements and the velos and the spin rates and all that other stuff.
Well, that's fair to think that it would have been discussed on social media nowadays for
sure.
that, but as much as it has been talked about over the years, I mean, back then it was not common, but it wasn't uncommon. I don't know if that makes any sense, but there were days, Brooks Kiesnick ran out there in the World Series and 250-something one night, and you could not have pulled him off that mound.
Same thing with Dressendorfer.
Off the fists, charging Torres. This is a tough play and no way to get the speedy Pack. An infield single, first hit for Texas today.
When you're living right, you're just living right. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Pack Jr. hitting the ball all over the yard. You talked about he uses every inch of the baseball field. This is exactly what you mean. He will find a way to get on. He couldn't have flipped that out there better than that.
I mean, look, when you hit them good and you have a lot of quality at bats, you get credit for it, right? And then your occasional bad one kind of squibs off like that, right off your knuckles, and you run it out for a base hit.
Exit velocity, 34 miles per hour.
I spent my career hitting them like that. I know what that feels like and looks like. It's an unpleasant feeling, just for the record.
Until you show it up in the box score, they don't know what it looked like. They don't know how it got there.
He's got a 12 game. He's got a 12-game hit streak now. It doesn't matter how.
Yeah.
Oh, he took a big lead and thought Upchurch would throw, and he couldn't get back to first in time. Pack is picked off. That'll do it in the third. The freshman Miles Upchurch shutting out Texas through 3. We'll talk to Ruger Riojas and his performance yesterday. Texas pitching dominant all weekend long. Ruger Riojas, a big reason why, got the start yesterday, and after giving up a first inning run, kept striking out Alabama hitters. 11 in all in 5 innings of work, just allowing the 1 run, and the Texas Bats came alive in the 7th, scoring 3 for the 3-1 victory. Luke Harrison has allowed 1 run through 3. Top of the 4th begins, and we're joined by Ruger Riojas, who had that gem yesterday. Ruger, thanks for joining us. Just take us through that day yesterday. Alabama got the run early. The first 3 Crimson Tide hitters reached base, and then you were dominant from there.
Yeah, no, the first inning was a little rough. You know, they got their hits. I walked the first guy. You know, just baseball happened, but didn't get away from the plan of, you know, dominating the zone and, you know, just sticking with my attack approach. And I stayed with it until I was done.
Ruger, I got to ask, if you got the bases loaded and the game on the line, and any team in the SEC's best hitter, whether it's right or left, what pitch in your mind sets up for you that you're going to go get after them with? What is your favorite one that you know is your championship pitch?
I mean, it could go any way. I'd say all 7. You know,
I mean,
but
8. There's 8.
Apologies, all 8. But I don't think there's one I'd go with. You know, I think all of them are strikeout quality pitches, and, you know, like, it could go 8 ways.
Will Plattner strikes out, and Luke Vaughn now at the plate with one down.
All right, Ruger, I got 2 questions for you, real quick ones. Number one, what do you use on your hair? Because that is a real big salad that you got working back there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna trim it soon, but I don't know if I want to share my secret, but it's I haven't used shampoo in my hair in about a year and a half. So I just let like the natural oils, clean it, and then every once in a while, maybe once a week, I'll condition it. But yeah, I don't really like to use products in my hair.
Okay, that explains a little bit about why it's, flowing the way that it is. But the other thing is, I happen to look in the dugout. You got your wrist taped. You probably got your ankles taped. Are you trying to ask Coach to see if you can go in there and play some outfield or something to help out the squad?
It'd be a dream come true to just go play an inning in the outfield, just one play in the, just in the field. But Doza asked me earlier today, like, you should tape up your forearms, and I'm like, why not? I'll do it. And so I put some on before the game started, and I think it's a pretty good look. I feel athletic in it, and I haven't done anything today.
Ruger, any nicknames since you started that flow 18 months ago?
Not really. Yeah. Nothing. I mean, like, the looks changed, but I don't think like the personality and the person behind it has.
I like that. Going back to what Coach talked to you about that pitch that you would go to, and obviously you said all 7, but in your mindset, when do you know that you have everything in the right spot? Your release point is feeling good. I know you could talk about it in the bullpen and you just got that feel, but after that first inning, it seems like you just start to go to the next level.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely the mindset going into every game. Just, I think it's going to be a great day, for strike one's thrown or first pitch is strike one, and then, it goes on from there. But I don't know. I don't like to think of like any cues or anything to, validate or, make me feel better about a pitch. I just, go out there, and if my stuff isn't working, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't, affect the plan to attack and, dominate the zone. So
a nice play by Becerra gets Luke Vaughn, and there's 2 down. Peyton Steele now at the plate. Ruger Riojas joining us. Obviously a tough weekend last weekend in College Station, and a tough start Tuesday. Texas A&M Corpus Christi got the first 5 runs, and then Texas came back. Any talk at all, just around the team in needing to recover from really the most adversity that your team had all year, those 2 losses 1 weekend ago?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's baseball. You're going to struggle, more times than not. You're going to have your rough stints, your weeks, your days of just, why can't we put together wins or just, put a great game together, which, I mean, I think we played pretty good most of the part. It was just, we played a really good team. To give credit to A&M, I thought they were really, really good. But, you can't get away from, like, the plan A that, we play our best baseball, we play loose, we're having fun. Like, we just can't get away from that. If we get away from that, it becomes a job for us. And then, like the little things, they fly by, and it just turns in. Good job, Luke! Just turns in like a scrappy game. But I think if we're just out here having fun and playing for each other, like, we'll start winning ball games, which I think we have, and just really enjoy being out here.
Ruger, appreciate you joining us. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Of course, thank you.
7 strikeouts for Luke Harrison. Texas still down 1-0. Rubber game of the 3-game set between Texas and Georgia softball comes your way tomorrow night on SEC Network. That's 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Texas rallied to win yesterday after giving up a 5 spot in third over Georgia, and the Bulldogs knocked out the Longhorns earlier today by a 4-2 score. With Ty Harrington and Mike Harge, I'm David Salzman from UFCU Dish Falk Field, and right across the street beyond the right center field wall is the home of Texas softball, McCombs Field, and the defending national champions.
You gotta love the way that sounds when it comes off your. Speaking of, if you're a Longhorn fan and what that was like and how exciting that was last year when they did win the national championship, and how great those, 2 of those 3 games were. Fun to watch. And then also, as fun as Ruger Riojas was last half inning, by the way.
Yeah, that was good stuff right there by him.
Yeah, it is.
I had no follow-up, though, for his comment about not putting shampoo in his hair for 18 months. I mean, he was honest about it. I'll give him credit about that. He was confident and honest about what he's done the last year and a half.
He said, I don't want to give my secret. I don't think that's a secret.
I mean, look, I can almost say the whole shampoo thing's a washout on me, too, because I just go right to the shaving cream and shave my head. So, but, yeah, he's got a... Yeah, that looks. If I could, I would. I can tell you that right now.
He said he was going to cut it soon. I'm sure plenty of fans watching said, no, wait, and until at least the season ends.
Keep it going, keep it going. And as for Coach Ty talking about he would love to grow it, that's because we are both follically challenged at this time, so that is why we would love to do that.
Grounder off the bat of Ethan Mendoza, and LeBron throws it away. It gets away from Vaughn, and Mendoza reaches. So it's the second Alabama error. First 2 games, Alabama did not commit an error, but before that, 12 in 4 games combined. So the defense haunts Alabama here.
He just took too much off the throw. He got his feet set up in time, had probably more time than he's had all weekend to make a throw. Got his foot down, but then just kind of decelerated through his throw, didn't go all the way through it or try to throw it through the first baseman. And as an infielder, sometimes at the very end, if you let up any on your velocity, you run that risk of your first baseman not being able to pick it.
Especially from that shortstop position.
First time leadoff hitters reach base for Texas. Tama Becerra looks to take advantage. Struck out to end Texas's threat in the first when Miles Upchurch walked the bases loaded.
Now, Alabama has struggled with the defensive side of the baseball. I mean, they have found ways to make some errors and some mental mistakes, physical mistakes with it. And look, you're going to make them. I'm not saying, I mean, this game is based off of, how few mistakes you can make, which already tells you in that sentence you're going to make mistakes and make errors. But I guarantee you go back in there and you hit him 10 more in a row, and he's going to make, 9.5 of them over to first base on the throws.
Just for comparison's sake, Alabama's committed 56 errors now. Texas 27, and that includes 4 in their win Friday. 2-2 now the count after the bunt goes foul.
Well, to Coach's point, when you sit here and you think about how this game is being played and how that margin of error is so critical. Here's a team that's trying to find a way to get a victory after losing the first 2 games, and now you've opened the door by creating an error and now potential of a big inning.
Called strike 3. Becerra strikes out for the second time today. 4th strikeout for the freshman Upchurch.
Miles Upchurch could throw 95 of these right here, right there on the outer half. It sneaks back into the corner of the first base side of home plate. He could throw a bunch of those and get a lot of outs.
Ashton Larson out attempting to get on base via the bunt his first time out. Takes a first pitch strike.
He dots a fastball on the corner and now has the confidence to come back with a first pitch changeup right down the middle, getting them off speed right away. And so those are the types of things that Coach Vaughn, he was saying his poise. He kept saying his poise is unbelievable. And now you're starting to see him kind of settle in.
0-2 now. He has not walked a batter since walking 3 in the first. Pendergrass reached base on an E1 in the second, and Pack singled in the third. But again, no walks since that first inning. Count now 1-2.
If you go back to the first inning, too, those misses were big.
Yes.
They were big misses. I mean, we had a catcher make a diving play, to catch that fastball, and then as he has gained confidence, as he's kind of melted into the flow of the game now, and with a comfort, his misses have gotten smaller.
It's fouled off.
Well, not only does that kind of set the tone for where he is right now, you let him work his way through all of that. You get a chance to see, hey, let's give him some length today. I mean, he's at 71 pitches now, but you look at him and you say he looks to be getting better because of the location. He's spotting. He's got guys out on their front foot, and he doesn't look as erratic as he did early.
Mendoza going. That's line foul. Texas down 1-0 yesterday until the bottom of the seventh when they put up a 3 spot to rally for the 3-1 victory. And it was all Texas Friday, a 3-run first. Did the job for Jim Schlossnagel's Longhorns in a 10-2 win. Two and two.
I mean, if you're going to see Mendoza go, it may be again now. I mean, you got to think he may go to a secondary pitch for the first baseman holding the runner on, and the left-handed hitter, that right side.
Holt at second, little trouble, flips to second for 1, but that bobble might have cost him the double play. Larson safe at first on the fielder's choice.
You're correct. That little bobble right there, that little hop that came up on him, he couldn't get it out on the transfer quick enough to be able to double up the speedy Larson down the lane. Came up a little quick, got it stuck in his glove. And LeBron tried to recover because he wants to make up for that error that he had in this inning, but it wasn't enough time.
So 2 down for Casey Borba. Just 1 hit for Texas, and that was on the slow roller down the third base line that allowed Anthony Pack Jr. to reach base safely. Hot shot on a hop. LeBron there on to first in time. He accounts for his error to begin the inning, and another web gem this weekend for the future first-round draft pick.
He understands what this field at Dish Falk is all about. He got to the backhand, came up, set his feet, but knew he was going to skip it across for the perfect throw to end the inning.
So the Summer of '83 documentary premiered Wednesday on SEC Network, and it is available on the ESPN app. Texas and Alabama played in the final game of the College World Series, Texas winning it all. This is the all-tournament team, the collection of talent in that College World Series. I cannot recommend watching the documentary enough. Look at some of these names. Calvin Schiraldi was one of 2 pitchers named to the All-Tournament team. Alabama's Tim Meacham, another, because he helped one hit Barry Bonds in Arizona State. By the way, Barry Bonds made the All-Tournament team. Dave Magadan, the Golden Spikes Award winner at first base at .525 this season. Chris Sabo at third for Michigan. And Pete Incaviglia, the designated hitter. By the way, there's a couple of names not on the All-Tournament team, but were future Hall of Famers. Roger Clemens, of course, who pitched here, and Barry Larkin was the shortstop in Michigan.
That's a great team. I mean, you start looking at all those guys that are on that list. Not only went on, a lot of them went on to be great pros, but you look at those names of what that meant for college baseball. Coach Ty, you were part of that era, so to speak, and you got a chance to see it growing up. But you look at it, and you knew back then what baseball was all about during that time.
Well, Omaha was such a special place. I was telling Dave the other day on that, I'd gone up there for that series. I'd signed with Texas. We went up there to watch it, so we were part of being there. We drove home and got back to Waco in time to watch on TV. And what I personally think was so unique is what you just heard right there with that ball. He just hits back up the middle. Torres does, was that the sound of the metal bat was different. When you watch, Major League Baseball on Saturday with, Joe Garagiola, whoever it was that were doing the games, it was a wood bat. The ping of the aluminum bat, and ESPN had arrived, and college baseball was arriving nationally at that point. And now you look at where it is today, us doing a streaming game, and it's on ESPN nonstop, and it's all over. It's the growth of college baseball. You could call it the beginning of it to where we are today, but the excitement of college baseball right now is unreal.
And you get to look at the programs. You brought it up, David. Alabama, people didn't realize that Alabama was that powerful of a baseball school. And then you find out Dave Magadan is just hitting bullets all over the field during that time. I didn't know that Dave Magadan went to Alabama. I knew he was a great major league player. I didn't realize he went to Alabama. And then obviously Roger and Calvin being able to do what they've been able to do in their career, and then went on to be teammates in Boston. I mean, it's just amazing the nostalgia that is behind this game. And even if you don't like Texas or you don't like Alabama, I think it's a great documentary to talk about the golden era of baseball during that time and what it meant for a lot of people.
And of course, we have to mention now the all-tournament team, the great late Mike Brumley, who was a shortstop, did a major league career. This gets away from Tinney, and Torres is going to move up to second. Long major league career for Brumley. It's amazing how Texas Longhorns' careers intertwine, not just here, but at one point Mike Brumley and Keith Moreland, who was part of the 1975 national championship team here. They were teammates in Chicago, and both got traded to San Diego in 1988. That was late in Moreland's career, his second to last year.
Well, if you got enough guys in the big leagues, and you have an opportunity for that to happen, right? I'm not just tooting Texas's horn, but that's a real thing.
Off the bat of Brennan Holt, this is foul.
I would say this too. The nostalgia part of it, you guys are talking about with college baseball, but by watching the '83, you get a better understanding of who was in the College World Series, and you get to watch 2 teams go after, the famous, Coach Gustafson, and you get, a look at him and watch how he did things, but now with so much, a lot of these guys before they get to Omaha now. Back then, you just didn't, unless you read the newspaper, you didn't know.
Holt works the walk, first and second now, nobody out. Keith Moreland now is the analyst for Texas Radio. There's Zonk, longtime voice of the Longhorns. Craig Way on the right.
Well, you can see him. He's got his reading glasses on right now. But let me tell you what he didn't have on when he was hitting pellets all over the place was glasses. That guy had 20/20 vision and could see baseballs coming out of nowhere at 100 miles an hour and still square them up.
World Series champ with the Phillies. Great career with the Cubs before that trade to San Diego.
And a lot of people forget he was on the football team as well.
Yep.
And will knock your head off. Just a tough dude that understood what it's like to be part of the University of Texas and the great history in which it is. You don't get your name up on the wall. As Coach Ty, you can speak to this. You don't get your name up on that wall just for coming to the University of Texas.
One of the best hitters in school history. And he continued that in the majors. 0-2 now the count to Fowler, who has been unsuccessful on 2 bunt attempts. Alabama has runners at first and second after a single by Torres and a walk by Holt, looking to extend a 1-0 lead here in the 5th.
Yeah, and look, they may try to do it with 2 strikes out. You know, you don't normally do it, but you've got your best hitter coming in behind you right now and trying to get this bunt down to move these guys in a scoring position, but to keep this inning alive.
Fowler strikes out for the 3rd time.
Just wasn't able to execute the bunt, which is to advantage of Harrison. We get a look at the strikeout. Just goes right upstairs, right at the top of the catcher's mask for that elevated fastball. Gets him to swing underneath it and miss it.
8 strikeouts for Harrison, 44 by Texas pitching this weekend. And now LeBron, who flashed the leather to end the bottom of the 4th. First pitch strike. He struck out twice against Harrison. That average down to 269, lowest of his career, but still the 12 home runs to lead the team. 32 runs batted in, 32 for 32 stealing bases. Ground ball against the shift, but Mendoza's able to come across to get it and throws out LeBron for the 2nd out. Torres to 3rd, Holt to 2nd.
Mendoza makes a pretty nice play. This ball's back to his left. Now he's the 2nd baseman, but he's pull side in the shift. He's got to go glove side for him, a decent distance to go get this ball. And he thought about, when he first fielded it, going to 2nd base. But, Mike, I think he had so much energy going towards first base, he just said, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and take the out at first.
And also factor in that Rodriguez was playing more to the pull side, that it was going to be a great play to be able to try to pull that off.
Brady Neal drove in Alabama's only run yesterday. He singled off Harrison in the 1st, but out trying to extend that to a double on a great throw by Anthony Pack. Alabama's best hitter hitting .372. Takes a ball and it's 1-1.
If you're the Crimson Tide, you got the guys you want. This is those, you know, he started talking about that inning. When you get it, you got to take advantage of it, and you've got the right guys that have come up with the opportunity.
Comes right back for a strike, 1-2. Yeah, to your point, he's reached base in 32 straight games, 7-game hit streak, 7 multi-hit games against SEC opponents, hoping to make it 8. But behind the count, 1-2. This is lifted, right center field. Robbins there, inning over. Alabama gets the first 2 aboard. Both are left. Still 1-0 tied halfway through. Jaden Duplantier came in as a substitute today for Darian Pendergrass. Got the start yesterday and a big hit in the 7th inning. It scored Tema Becerra to tie the game at 1. Carson Tinney then would single to score Borber to make it 2-1. And Duplantier would later score on the Adrian Rodriguez sac fly, a 3-run 7th as Texas rallied for a 3-1 win yesterday to take the series.
You know, it's, Mike, I'm going to let you say what Coach Schlossnagle said about why that all of a sudden they scored. But the reality is, when you're an offensive team and somebody is throwing good, sometimes you tip your hat to the idea pitching can outdo the hitting if the pitching's good enough. And he was that good yesterday. That's the first time I've seen people put fastballs inside on some of these Texas hitters and then able to use his changeup away. But it was a tremendous pitching performance by Alabama early in that game.
Well, you talked about it, being able to get a different arm look too. You get to bring another guy in, maybe not as sharp. You see the ball a little bit better, and it kind of changed the approach for a lot of those guys in the Texas dugout.
You know, the biggest thing is they changed pitchers.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
That's exactly right.
Duplantier said after the game, I wanted to be in that situation, and he came through. And as Ty, you and I talked about yesterday, just a great story, waiting his turn, getting easily the most playing time this season, his senior campaign. He has hits in 6 of his last 8 games, including that big one in the 7th yesterday. Takes this pitch for a strike, 1-2.
You know, he's one of those guys, a team guy. I mean, that is what it's all about. You've been around those types of players that, as you say, you want those opportunities, but you're not forcing them yet. You're going to get it, and when you do, you try to stay in the lineup to make sure that you're not the one being taken out.
High hop at the end for LeBron, but he stays with it, and he guns down Duplantier for the first down.
Yeah, David, that's right. That ball came up, and that's unusual off a turf and field turf for it to bounce up higher to waist high. But I'll tell you what else he did when it did take that hop. He wasn't going to ease it over there. He aired it out.
Miles Upchurch is up to 80 pitches. There is activity in the Alabama bullpen. Ashton Crowther, big lefty, warming up. Top of the order, Aiden Robbins, who's 0 for 2 against Upchurch so far.
You do got to tip your hat to what you've been able to see from Upchurch. You start looking at it, the inconsistency early, settles down, attacking the strike zone and feeling confident with every pitch that he's thrown. That's why Coach Vaughn is in love with this guy and loves his makeup and his upside.
And he's loving the idea he's be able to execute that fastball, slider, and changeup on that outer half of the plate that he's right-handed hitters successfully today.
1-2 to Robbins. And I mentioned at the top about Upchurch, the freshman, really coming along lately. In his previous 3 SEC starts, allowing just 4 runs and 13 in the 3rd. And of course, with 1 out here in the 5th, he's shutting out the Longhorns.
And only giving up 1 hit. And it was what? Exit velo of 34.
That's to right, but foul. Aiden Robbins trying to get things going for the Horns here in the 5th, up to the number 21 overall prospect in the upcoming draft, according to ESPN's Kylie McDaniel. That is the highest among all the draft-eligible Longhorns. Torres at 3rd. On to first, and Aiden Robbins is 0 for 3 so far, 2 down.
He keeps executing that ball away, whether it's a fastball or his changeup and his slider on the outer half, and Texas hasn't been able to stay back there and see it deep enough and hit it the other way. But he's also, Upchurch has been able to execute the different types of pitches on that side of the plate, which disrupts the hitter's timing.
Yeah, because it all looks the same. That fastball on that outer half and on the outer 3rd even, you're sitting there thinking it's going to be a fastball, then he dots you with that changeup, and then he flips in that slider, like right there.
After walking the bases loaded in the 1st, Upchurch has been awfully good. 7 ground balls off Texas hitters, just 2 fly balls and the 4 strikeouts.
And the flip side of that is, the add-on to that is, the majority of the ground balls have been pull-side ground balls. That means you've disrupted the hitter's timing, and he's gotten out in front of a lot of those.
1-1 to Tinney, who's hit safely in 11 of his last 12 and 8 straight. Hitless today. One of those 3 walks in the 1st, and he was left on 3rd.
Brady Neal's having a tough time back there today with some of those ball calls. been pitch selection.
Here's the 2-1. Pop back and foul.
I know as you look right there out into the sunshine, it looks like it's 70, 85 degrees out here, and it's not. It is not. I want to make everybody that's not here to understand it's about 60 something, or it feels like it, and the wind's been blowing, but it turned out to be a beautiful day.
73 degrees now. It's like fall weather here. Ooh, good take. Count full.
It's funny that you say fall weather. Texas football had their spring fan fest yesterday to close out the spring practice season. And before you know it, we'll be back out there for football coming up. And I know those Bama fans are excited about football as well.
Mike, you have a radio show. What day do you don't y'all talk about Texas football? As opposed to what I was really wanting to ask was, when does it really kick up? It's more about when do you don't,
when do
right?
you not, right?
Yeah.
It'll be about this for a week, and well, actually 4 days, because then you got the guys that will be in the NFL draft this weekend.
Still a full count. Ty, they probably talk about third-string cornerbacks. And who's going to be the third-string linebacker? That's how deep you go.
Hey, it's about depth. You got to be able to have depth.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear the depth of quarterback's pretty good. Diabell, number 3. Tenney still stays alive.
Seems to be that way. Another kid from Alabama, KJ Lacey, getting an opportunity. Got the wide receiver from Auburn, who is also from Alabama. A lot of Alabama connections here.
9th pitch of the at-bat here from Upchurch. Slow roller. Can LeBron make the play? Charges on to first. He does it again. Justin LeBron flashing the leather once more. Miles Upchurch continues to shut out the Longhorns. We have a pitcher's duel here. Luke Harrison dealing for Texas.
I'm going to tell you what, this breaker, they just continue to swing over the top. He's been able to execute it. Enough of them in the zone to get him started, and then those out of the zone, he's been able to get a lot of strikeouts with.
A lot of guys as hitters, you want to sit up there and go up there and sit on one pitch, but you're not being able to do that because of that breaking ball has been effective. Every once in a while, he'll run that fastball up and in on you. Got to stay back.
Adrian Rodriguez on the Eric Hines grounder. 1 pitch, 1 out. Top of the 6th. So you just saw Luke Harrison's numbers. 8 strikeouts in 5 1/3. And of course, the Texas pitching has been so dominant. 44 strikeouts total. Dylan Valandez had a career-high 12 on Friday. Rigor Riojas followed that up with 11 in his start yesterday. Sam Cozart getting 2 saves, 8 strikeouts total in 4 innings of work.
Max Weiner has to be smiling on his way home tonight, thinking about what his pitching staff has been able to do this weekend, because that's the bounce back, right? You start thinking about what happened last weekend, and then, of course, Tuesday night, Texas A&M Corpus Christi jumps out to a
Becerra trying to stay with it. On to first and off target. Plattner reaches. Tough play for the Texas third baseman, and Plattner has a one-out single.
Yeah, that was tough. Tough right there. Nice backhand, kept it in front because it could have been a double down the line, but he was able to keep that in front. But you look at what Max Weiner has been able to do at each of his last stops. The first year without him, you see the ERAs, but now that year when he gets there, he finds a way to get it done. The pitchers believe in his process, and he has that mindset to get these guys to compete every time.
Texas's ERA coming into today, 3.45. Just allowing the one run, which came in the second.
I think in line with that too, Mike, that it's a positive communication. I mean, it's always that you can do it. Yep. You know, when he relays the information, yeah, it's that, yeah, you can do this. And I think those young, not just the young guys, I think all those pitchers feed off of that. They love the information, right? But what you do with information that coaches give you or people give you is your choice. But oftentimes it's how it's translated to you, communicated to you as to how you absorb it and whether you want to use it or not. I just think he's got that aura around him as some people call him a pitching savant. I mean, there's something to that because he understands the rotation of the baseball about as good as anybody when you get in a conversation with him. But what he also understands is what his personnel, the pitchers, can do with the baseball. Some can do this with it, others can't. He doesn't force that on them. He lets them go succeed at what they are able to do and capable of doing.
2-1 to Luke Vaughn, who has Alabama's only run after he was hit by a pitch in the second. Now Vaughn ahead 3-1.
To follow up what you're talking about, you see the relationships that he has with his pitchers. When there's a tough situation, he'll go out to the mound, and the next thing you know, the camera will zoom into him, and they're all out there smiling. So he's probably said something positive to them.
This is driven to right center field. It's going to find the gap. Robbins, the throw into Mendoza's. Plattner has to hold at third, but Alabama with two runners in scoring position off the Vaughn double.
You know, Luke Vaughn lands all over this baseball because that wind is still blowing in. This isn't a wind-blown double. And he goes backside with this. You get another look at this, and you look at him, Mike, that ball's out over the plate. And he gets his hands through it, extends that barrel through it, but he blasts this ball. As you can see, is it just out of the reach of Robbins and Duplantier both.
It's a great job by Robbins to be able to cut that ball off to stop that runner from scoring from first base and getting it in pretty quickly. Big play right there, but you're right. Vaughn was all over that pitch. It was elevated, drove it into the right center field gap, and now the Crimson Tide is sitting there with the runners on second and third and one out.
Alabama coming into today got really next to nothing in terms of production from Rob Vaughn's bottom of the lineup, but today 6 through 9, Vaughn hit by a pitch and scored in the second, and then this double, his first hit of the series. Peyton Steele at the plate is 1 for 2. Jason Torres next 2 for 2 with a run batted in, and the 9-hole hitter Brennan Holt has walked twice.
If I'm not mistaken, too, that's one of the first backside hits that Alabama's had this weekend. I think they were trying to chase that breaker. He was throwing that backdoor breaker to him enough, and they started looking out that way. And he got a fastball that's set in the middle.
Strike call to Steele.
Texas is going to play the middle back here with one out. Mendoza's in about 3 steps.
0-2 now.
And oftentimes when you do this, the reason for it, some people say, won't you come up, cut the run off? Well, you're only down 1. And if you bring the middle back, now a single little barely roller can get through your defenders because your infield's up tight.
Got him. After Max Weiner comes out to talk to his hurler, 3 pitches and a key strikeout, Harrison's 9th.
You see this breaking ball going down and in on that back foot of the right-handed hitter. You talked about swinging over the top all night long. That's exactly what continued to happen right there as he got him on that back foot to strike him out.
Torres a couple of singles against Harrison today. Right-hander Max Grubbs warming up in the Texas bullpen. And Jim Schlossnagle comes out and has awarded an intentional walk to Torres. So this will bring up the lefty Holt with the bases loaded, 2 down here in the top of the 6th.
They're playing the numbers of left-left matchup. He's got enough confidence in Harrison that he's going to throw strikes with the bases loaded, but they're just going to go play the odds of that left-left matchup.
0-1.
And you said it, David. I mean, he's 2 for 2 with 2 hard hit balls his last 2 at bats. So why not go ahead and make the lefty-lefty matchup, as Coach mentioned, one of the most profitable plays for you right now.
And they're 0-2. Bases loaded, 0-2 to Holt. Alabama holding on to a 1-0 lead, looking for more. Strike 3 called. A career high 10th strikeout for Luke Harrison comes at a key time. Alabama leaves them loaded for the 2nd time today.
Luke Harrison comes through again. Back to back to back sliders. The last one right on the outside edge of the plate. A big time pitch and a big time moment.
Starter Zane Adams for the Crimson Tide, 6 shutout innings, and so far today, Ty and Mike, Miles Upchurch, the freshman, 5 shutout innings, only allowing 1 hit, and those 3 walks came way back in the 1st.
It's been disruptive timing for the Longhorns all day from him, from Upchurch. The execution beyond the 1st inning, and he wiggled his way out of the 1st inning.
Lifted off the bat of Adrian Rodriguez, but that goes foul.
But he's been able to keep him off balance. And he's disrupted the timing of their barrels. And look, it's well documented. If you go and you look at the stats, will tell you everything you need to know about Texas's lineup and how good it is. And so what he's been able to accomplish so far into this game, and particularly for a freshman, has been impressive.
This is pitch number 96 coming from Upchurch. No outs here in the 6th. Rodriguez 0 for 1 with a walk. He's behind at the count 0-2.
I want to ask you this, Ty, as you look at this performance that he's given them right now, you see the number of pitches that he's thrown so far. How much more do you give him? Because the game is still 1-0. I mean, he's battled his behind off to be at this moment. So now you sit here and you're looking, do you let a guy get on before you go out and make the move? You had your lefty in there warming up. How much longer do you give him?
I know he's built up beyond 100. So if he gets through this inning, I would get. Most guys are going to give him the least to try to get through this inning. If it, pending it's not bases loaded and 2 outs, I don't know that he would get that chance to stay in there for that. But as long as he stays clean or with maybe one runner on first base, I think they'll try to let him finish it. And look at what's interesting about the SEC is, and I didn't know this until Coach Schleislingo told me one day, just in a general conversation. This was a year ago, or 2 years ago. The average start is 4.1 innings in the SEC. And you're like, what? Because that's all. Wow. Now, the bullpens are different, than a lot of other leagues. You got guys that are coming out of the bullpen that are just as good as the guy that just left the field.
Right.
Rodriguez stays alive. That was pitch number 100 from Upchurch, which is a career high. He threw 90 last week in 6 innings against Arkansas.
Yeah, and to your question, if Rodriguez gets on and you got left-handed Pack coming out, do they make the change at that point and go to the left-hander that's warming up in the pen? That's possible, maybe even probable.
Another payoff. Another foul ball. That is Crowther in the pen. He was there last inning as well.
And that's why another reason you've had him up 2 innings in a row. You definitely don't want to burn him. You want to make sure that you use him. And Pack might have been the name that he was waiting for in this situation.
You may be right. It's getting out there now, pitch count-wise, just in this at-bat.
To left, Hines makes the grab. Upchurch wins the battle. And will that be the last batter he will face today? 1 down here in the 6th.
Well, they're discussing it right now, and I got to be honest with you. What I just saw, the catcher was trying to tell him not to. Do you see? The catcher was going, no. He's good. He's good.
Well, this is the pitching coach, so I don't know if the moves are made by Vaughn or the pitching coach. So that is why I'm curious to what the catcher is going to do to kind of fight for his guy, especially because he's throwing so well.
It's Jason Jackson, the Alabama pitching coach.
It almost looks like that fight has been fought.
Are you saying there's no fight?
I don't know. The coach reached for his walkie-talkie to say something. Watch this right here. You can't see the coach. He's no. You got it, right?
No. He's good. He's good, man. No. Come on, man. Listen to me.
They're going to make the move.
Ashton Crowther, who has the best ERA among Alabama's regular relief pitchers, comes in. 2nd straight day, Alabama has gotten a gem from its starter. 1-0 tie, 1 out in the 6th.
Miles Upchurch, when he woke up this morning, knew exactly the lineup he was going to have to face and the environment too. He embraced it and put on some kind of performance with all 3 pitches today with his fastball, slider, and his changeup, getting them all the way in to the 6th inning. Now he gets an opportunity to watch the outcome of this game, but knowing he threw really well today.
I agree with you 100%. When you start to look at that line, only giving up 1 hit, those 3 walks all happened in the 1st inning, but he was able to find the command that he was looking for early in the ball game. You got to tip your cap to that young man, and you see why they have so much belief in his upside as his career goes on.
And look, it's not just about the strikeouts. I mean, it was soft contact that he created, and he disrupted Texas's barrels all through the lineup so far into the 6th inning.
See the line for Upchurch, that 1 hit, a dribbler off the bat of Anthony Pack Jr. in the 3rd. All 3 walks coming in the 1st, and he got out of that bases loaded jam. So Ashton Crowther, junior from Trinity, Florida, on the mound. First pitch, Pack swings, LeBron another assist, and there's 2 down. So coming in, Crowther 2-2, an ERA of 180. Opposing batting average, this is before Pack just grounded out, is just 214. He goes long, guys. He went 3 innings in his last outing 1 week ago against Arkansas, 3 2/3 in a win at Oklahoma April the 4th, in which he just allowed 1 run. He doesn't have a save, but if he's successful, we'll see how long Rob Vaughn and Jason Jackson leave him out. First pitch strike to Ethan Mendoza. The last 4 times Alabama has had leads in SEC games, they've lost. They have a 1-0 lead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
You know what he relies on too, Mike, if you go through there and you dig, yeah, but it's soft contact. It's 15 strikeouts in 20 innings. Most times you think a guy's a strikeout per inning, but it's contact, and he pitches to it. He's going to put his stuff in the zone.
Big cut, 1 and 2.
Did you see his glove right there? Can we get a picture of his glove? Me being the guy that I am, I would say that is distracting to me, and I would make him go change gloves to kind of disrupt the flow of this team. I know you would, Coach.
I couldn't see that well. I wouldn't be able to see it.
Looks like M&M's on. I mean, they're not, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, he's dotted up real good right there. I was just kidding. I just wanted to see that glove again. It was something for the kids.
1 and 2 to Mendoza. Popped up. This will get to shallow left center. LeBron calls everyone off and makes the grab. 7 straight retire by Alabama pitching. 1-0 tied through 6. See golf championships come your way next week on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Women's coverage tees off Tuesday morning, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. The men, and even earlier tee time, that is next Sunday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. The final 2 teams will square off in a match play format to determine the title. Golf championships next week. Tennis championships have been this week. And of course, in a month, it'll be the conference tournament for baseball. Ooh, high and tight to Fowler from Luke Harrison, who remains in the game. That's his 97th pitch. He did throw 102 and not allowing an earned run to Ole Miss in a win March the 14th.
Being around the game a lot, that was the reaction of a guy looking for a breaking ball that got a first pitch fastball.
And after striking out his first 3 times against Harrison, Fowler's able to lift an opposite field single to begin the 7th.
Which goes back to my point. He got the breaking ball and he flipped it into left field. You can just tell by certain takes that you knew that you were looking for something different.
And Alabama having a little more success now too, going the other way and not trying to pull everything, which I think they did the first 2 nights. I should say the first 2 days.
Here's LeBron on a 9-game hit streak and a 20-game on-base streak, but is 0 for 3 today. It's Max Grubbs on the left warming up, as he did last week.
And Brett Crossland getting ready to go in there looking like he's going to tackle somebody.
He's big enough too, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Appeal to first, no swing, it's 1-1. You know, Alabama fans would love to see their superstar break out here. You see the 268 average, but an All-American last year, 12 home runs. Alabama looking to end a 5-game SEC losing streak. 1-2 though now.
You know, you start looking at this approach, and he's got a 9-game hit streak. Don't know how many more at-bats he's got right here, but he continues to swing over the top of it. You see him shorten up just a little bit on the barrel, on the handle.
Quick throw to first. Oh, Borba had to do a good job making sure it didn't go behind him.
Now, the run game's a big part of Alabama's offense, and they just have not been able to really get it going. Now, LeBron had 3 stolen bases on the first game, but they would really like to try to get the game in motion.
Fowler has 14 stolen bases. Slides in again. To your point, 75 stolen bases on 83 attempts, 6th in Division I in success rate.
I think Texas is thinking the very same thing right now with Harrison using a step-off move the first time and then going back to 2 regular moves, but trying to make sure that they give Fowler different looks and slow down his anticipation.
The opposite way, it finds the hole, base hit. Fowler on his way to third. Robbins bobbles the ball, it's behind him, and Fowler slid to third base. At one point, Anthony Papio, the third base coach, was telling him to round third and try to score, but he already started his slide. And we'll see if that comes back to haunt the Tide. Right now, they have runners on the corners, no out.
We get a look at this, Mike. This is a good job by LeBron, just hitting this ball back up the middle and the other way. Again, they're staying on Harrison a lot longer, not getting over the top of it. Hit it right, just the right of Mendoza, who that normally would have been a normal playing position for them in a regular defense. But you're right, it got under Robbins' glove just a little bit. And they're going to stay with Harrison here, it looks like, with a left-left matchup.
Brady Neal singled into third, 1 for 3. Fowler slides back in at third. A lot of speed on the base paths. Mentioned Fowler's 14 stolen bases, and of course LeBron 32 for 32 stealing bases this year.
Well, you start to look at what LeBron did that at bat too, Coach. He stayed back, shot the ball to the right side, shortened up, spread out his stance because he knew he needed to have a quality at bat right there.
This drifting foul, Pack will watch it go out of play.
That was interesting. Texas had an idea possibly that they may try to safety squeeze because they broke Borba in to try to cover it to make sure. But Neal was swinging. Now Borba, as you can see at the top of the screen, now he's going to move back to hold LeBron on. But the pitch before is when he came set, he broke in to make sure and cover up a possible.
Yeah, I would bet that they're going to put some motion here, put some pressure on the Texas defense to try to manufacture. I mean, again, this is a one-run ball game. You want to try to do something, and Neal, one of their best hitters, if not their best hitter on the season, is at the plate.
On a hard hop. Now this could be 2, 6-4-3. Run scores, 2-0, but the base is now empty.
Well, if you're a Texas fan, you think, wow, we gave up a run, but at that point, when you choose to play your defense back, which is what you're going to do, you're trading 2 for 1. The 2 outs for the 1 run scored makes your challenge a little bit more, with 1 more run on the board. But you'll take a double play right there with Neal right in the thick of their order.
Now Eric Hines, foul ball. Hines 0 for 3 today with a strikeout after striking out 4 times yesterday. This is a career high in pitches for Luke Harrison. He's at 105.
Impressive. And there haven't been a lot of extra work pitches. Like he hadn't had to overwork himself.
This lifted, won't carry. Right center. Duplantier comes in, makes the grab, and that'll do it in the 7th. Alabama gets some insurance. Can they hold on to break a 5-game conference losing streak? They're up 2-0.
Best conference tournament in all of college baseball.
Run straight for the breakaway.
Let's get to Hoover.
1 month from today, it is the SEC tournament. As always, played in Hoover, Alabama. Every team makes it single elimination. Right now, Texas and Texas A&M tied for second in the league behind Georgia. A&M a 5-0 lead at LSU, looking to sweep the Bayou Bengals in Baton Rouge. Ole Miss at 10-7, winners of 8 straight, but looks like that streak will end. They're down 13-5 in the 9th in Knoxville against Tennessee. Here, 2-0 Alabama. Looking to hold on to take the final game of this series. Alabama pitching has limited Texas to just 1 hit. And that was a dribbler down the third baseline off the bat of Anthony Pack Jr. Freshman Miles Upchurch was brilliant in his start, and Ashton Crowther in relief. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th, and he starts the 7th against Timo Becerra. Liner, LeBron, it's off his glove. Does he have enough time? A long throw to first, barely misses. I thought for a moment it would get Becerra, but he's safe by very little.
This is a really good play, Mike. I'm sorry. This ball is scorched by Becerra. Ricochets off his glove and his leg, and Becerra almost started to swing out when he originally took out of the box because he thought it was going to get through for a clean base hit. And LeBron showing his arm off.
Yeah, that was one heck of a play. As you mentioned, if he does make that loop to like he's getting ready to go to second base, he might have been able to throw him out at first, but recognizing that LeBron was right there, he was able to get down that line in enough time.
He threw that off his back foot.
On a dime.
2 infield hits for Texas today. Becerra on first, nobody out. Presley Corville, the pinch hitter. Freshman from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Swings and misses at the first offering from Crowther. He's 5 for 11 this season with a double and a run batted in.
He's a kid that's not afraid to swing the bat, as you can see.
Little trouble at first by Vaughn, but able to maintain control. Becerra 7 for 7 stealing bases this year. This is hit hard to left. Hines, though, there makes the catch as Becerra makes the long run back to first.
He hits this ball well. There's some days that ball's going to make the outfielder turn and open up and have to go outrun it to catch it, but he grabs this one right in the screws of the barrel. And baseball just happened to get in the way that it was right at the left fielder.
So 1 down for Casey Borba. 0 for 2 today. He's batting .292, but .375 against left-handed pitching. First pitch strike. Represents the tying run at the plate. He scored the go-ahead run in the 7th yesterday. So this is when Texas rallied 1 day ago for that 3-1 win.
Borba's one of those guys that you see get hot, you see him get cold, but the one thing that has been very consistent for him has been his play at first base. He had to play some third with Rodriguez out, played stellar there, but I've been more impressed with the way he's played defense this year, moving from third to first. It's not an easy move for a lot of folks.
And that's back-to-back years. They've taken a guy from a different position and moved him over to first base and made him really elite first baseman with Schussler the year before, and now Borba.
Becerra back. So Casey Borba with that move back to first base this weekend has helped his offense too. Now that includes Tuesday's game against A&M Corpus Christi, but he's hitting .400 his last 3. 1 for 19 the previous 5. 3-1 the count.
Watching Becerra right now, Mike, and he's got both feet outside the brown area of the first base pit, which would be your dirt, trying to draw some throws to see what the move does look like. They're one-way leads, trying to gather up as much information or intel, however you want to say it, but
it goes to that experience.
Yeah,
that experience as a veteran player, you know how far you can go. Let's see what we can get. And as you mentioned, the one-way lead kind of makes you throw the ball over.
Crowther's IRA coming in 180. In conference games 198. Awaiting the 3-1 to Borba. Strike call.
That's why you get so anxious and you get ready and they 3-1 count. you're ahead in the count. Get that barrel's already moving. Emotionally, it's already moving for you sometimes.
The payoff. Right up the middle, LeBron slides, has it flipped to second and on to first. A 6-4-3 double play. Justin LeBron does it again in the infield.
We see where the glove is the love, right? You see it right there. Pitcher's best friend. LeBron, we've been talking about how people are viewing him, but look at this play right here. Helped kill the momentum for the Texas Longhorns, but helped Alabama come back in for a little bit more action in the top of the inning.
Career high in strikeouts for Luke Harrison today, Ty Harrington.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, that breaker was on the outer half of the plate, back foot breakers. He was in command of his emotions, his pitches. I thought he was really clean, and I thought he was really good. I mean, he had, when he was really right, he didn't have to navigate through a whole lot of traffic all day long, but you could see the number of strikeouts, 10 of them, with a career high. See him bouncing off the mound. When you start looking at, as a coach, you think, well, what kind of performance did you get out of your Sunday guy? You get 10 punch outs, 2 runs given up, 6 outs. That's a good outing. I mean, you go tip your hat and see he's sitting on the bench right now going, hey, I gave it all I had, and I went out there and executed pitches, and now it's time for the bullpen to do it, and then hopefully if you're a Longhorn fan, your offense to come to life.
Brett Crossland walked Justin LeBron with 2 outs in the 8th yesterday, the only batter he faced. ERA of under 2 for the freshman, a 1-1 record. Against the 8th against the designated hitter Will Plattner, and a first pitch ball. Between Crossland and Sam Cozart mostly. The freshmen in the bullpen have been remarkable. A whip of under 1, over a 4 strikeout to walk ratio, an ERA of just over 3.
You got in Brody Walls as well, and then Michael Winters working his way back into the fold. You know, we got a chance to talk to Coach Schlossnagle about his freshmen, and all he kept saying was how much upside these guys have. And then you get them in the mix, and you saw what Cozart's been able to do, and now you're coming back with Crossland in this situation as well.
And that's a 90-mile-an-hour cutter, slider. And then his fastball actually, moves right, left too. I mean, it's got a little cut action to it at 96.
Got him. No chance for Plattner. First out here in the 8th.
He just rear backs and rips this cutter. It's at 92. He just attacked it. Look at that ball just rotating. It's hard and attacking. That's hard to pick up as a hitter.
We might need to check on Carson Tenney's thumb on those types of pitches right there, the way that ball just kept rolling downhill.
Luke Vaughn hit by a pitch in the 2nd, scored the first Alabama run. Doubled and was left on base in the 6th. 0-1 the count. So, as you mentioned, Luke Harrison, tremendous start, career-high strikeouts, career-high pitch count. But do they get the loss if Texas is unable to at least tie this game? We talked very early, he's only had 2 losses in his Texas career, none at home. He had not been tagged with a loss here at Dish Falk Field. One and one the count to Vaughn.
As Coach Ty said earlier, I did not know that.
I did not.
I did not know that.
That speaks to what he's done in his career. I mean, he's 10-2 in his career overall. This is 29th start today. And so steady for the Longhorns. Off the bat of Vaughn. Pat comes in. Oh, makes the play. It has to get out of the way of a sliding Rodriguez. 2 down.
I'm not sure if Rodriguez didn't know that he had a beat on the ball. I'm not sure, or couldn't hear him because he was going all out. And that's one of those things, you as an outfielder, you start screaming at the infielder, I got it, or ball, whichever you're using. But I mean, A-Rod turned back and just peeled out and took out to go catch it and make a diving catch.
And if you watch the way Pack Jr. was coming in, he was under control the entire way and even put his glove up like, what are you doing running out here, man? I got this. That's a perfect way to describe it. He just put his head down, Rodriguez did, and just started making a beeline out to left field.
Well, to his credit, sitting down, the wind's blowing in, so he knew it wasn't going to carry as far. So maybe he felt like it was going to drop in between Pack, and he was going to go out there and make sure that he was at least going to give himself a chance to make a diving catch if needed.
Two and one now the count to Steele.
Both you guys were making a comment about how big Crossland is, and how physical he looks. I mean, he's throwing 96 miles an hour. You start, if you look into the future, I mean, none of us can because we don't know what tomorrow, the next minute even holds at times, but you can start to dream about what that fastball and that slider is going to look at 99 to 100. Those are, people wonder where 100 guys that throw 100, what they can look like and what the ball looks like coming out of hands, and it looks very similar to what this is, even though this, as a young freshman, is 96. You could start to project through the throwing program and his athleticism and his strength.
Steele works the walk with 2 outs.
You're right about the physicality and imposing presence on the mound when you start to get up there and look at him. But it's one of those things, too, you got to make sure that you stay in that positive mind frame and having that relationship with Max Weiner and understanding, hey, I got to get this from you, and finding a way to get that done.
7th walk allowed this season for Crossland, and 15 in the 3rd. And now he faces Jason Torres, who's reached base all 3 times has been up. Lines this foul.
If he doesn't get Torres, it wouldn't surprise me if they go to LeFew with Holt coming up.
Here comes the 0-1. Instead of throw to first, Steele back.
You also got Ethan Walker working out there in the bullpen as well. Another lefty in that situation.
Walker did face 2 lefties yesterday, got them both out. Tide looking for some insurance, up 2-0 here in the 8th.
Yeah, he came in and does his thing. He knows what his role is.
What does Jim say? Star in your role.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Be your very best in your role, or star in your roles. That's right.
1-1 the count. The 7th inning favoring Alabama, type of inning that really had plagued them the last couple of weeks. Able to get that insurance run across. Strike call. And then, of course, Justin LeBron's latest web gem of the weekend, ending any Texas threat in the bottom half.
He's been a highlight film at shortstop, fielding the ball this whole weekend.
We might see him at the plate in the 9th. Crossland looking to get out of the 8th, and does. Call strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Crossland. 12 for Texas pitching today, 48 all weekend. Longhorns, though, need some offense. Titled Web Gems, and there's just one involved, Justin LeBron.
Unbelievable play from this young man all weekend long, but more importantly, what he was able to do today. We got to see it from all different angles. This play right here had the potential of being a big inning for Texas, but the double play stopped any momentum that they had right there, and you can see the passion that he had when he went back into the dugout.
Ty, that's just from today. We could go back all weekend. We'd see many more.
It would take a little bit longer. This highlight film, I can tell you that. We'd still be playing it. I mean, it started, from the get-go. On Friday night, he made some great plays, and I mean, he's got that unbelievable athleticism at shortstop. I mean, probably the worst, comment I'm going to make, or the most common comment I'm making right now is that he is crazy athletic. I mean, you watch him go right and left, and then when he's able to manipulate his body to get to a throwing position and to make strong throws. I mean, it's fun to watch a guy out there playing in the infield.
It's about to Duplantier. This takes Fowler back in center, but able to make the grab. 1 down.
You mentioned the athleticism. A lot of people call it quick twitch, and being able to be twitchy. His natural movement from left to right, his ability to show his arm strength. We talked about him being flat-footed, coming up short. Well, he gets one in the hole and shows you why people are looking at him as a top 5 prospect and possible draft pick, because of that ability to be able to throw the ball across the diamond as well as hit it for some power.
Ashton Crowther, 2 scoreless innings so far, but the first time for him to face the 2 stars at the top of the Texas order. Here's Aiden Robbins, 0 for 3 today. And a 1-0 count to the junior from Yardley, Pennsylvania. Tinney on deck. Robbins and Tinney today 0 for 5 after going 9 for 14 with 4 extra base hits the first 2 games. Two and 0.
These are the guys that have been doing it for you. I mean, here they are, and if the game plays out without extra innings, may be the last time they come through this order. And so, big part of your offense is right here in the moment.
Strike call.
One thing I look at when I watch Aiden Robbins play, when he's going good, he's wearing out that right center, right field gap to be able to drive the ball. Then when you make that mistake, he can power you out to left.
Did he do it here on a line? Just fell. Right on cue, Mike, but almost.
That's when he can stay on those pitches. I mean, those are the types of things that when you're going good and you're seeing the ball well, those are just reactionary. That was a breaking ball that came into him. Because he was looking probably to right center field, he was able to get a good swing on it.
12 hits his last 5 games, 4 home runs.
Yeah, that's gaudy.
It's the other way, tailing foul, still giving it a run, but out of play. Texas 2 hits. Neither left the infield. That's how good Alabama pitching has been here today.
Well, 3/4 of the game yesterday.
Yep.
You know, they threw the ball well too. It's been a well-pitched weekend for the most part.
St. Adams gave Rob Vaughn's Tide 6 scoreless innings in his start yesterday, but Matthew Heiberger came in on the 7th and got the loss. Texas rallied for a 3-1 win. Robbins has worked the count full.
Yeah, this will be exciting to see what he does choose to throw. He threw a 2-0 changeup to Robbins and got the strike call on the outer half of the plate. And as a hitter, that's in the back of your mind, so you know you've got to protect it.
Foul again.
Did leak out just a little bit on that front side on that pitch right there. You can see his timing, getting his foot down, ready to go. He just leaked out just a tad for that pitch.
Robbins, team leader in batting average, OPS, home runs, RBIs. Awaits another full count pitch from Crowther. And not just that, guys. Runs, hits, total bases. He's done it all since arriving on campus.
It's incredibly impressive.
Looking to get the Texas rally started with 1 out in the 8th. Another foul ball.
Keeps coming at him. That's been 3 fastballs in a row, 88 to 90. See what, at some point, when you get into these full count battles with good hitters, you'll trust one of your secondary pitches to try to flip in there.
Got him. 10 pitches in the at bat. Crowther wins the battle.
This is just confidence. Just kept coming, and didn't give in to one of the country's best baseball players. Those are 2-seamers down and away from him. At that point, Robbins was really just trying to foul it off because it was off the plate by a ball or 2.
So now Carson Tinney with 4 runs batted in this weekend. First pitch strike. 8 home runs in the last 11 games for Tinney. Today 0 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base. Right side. Holt makes the grab. Ashton Crowther. 2 2/3 innings of relief, and has kept Texas off the board. Tide look for insurance as we go to the 9th. 1-13 all-time against Texas, and that win came 122 years ago, April 30th, 1904. A 6-3 win in Tuscaloosa. By the way, this is what was going on around the world in 1904. Dr. Seuss was born.
Oh my gosh.
Cy Young pitched the first perfect game in Major League Baseball history. One of his over 500 wins, the New York City subway system opened 122 years ago, and the St. Louis World's Fair introduced cotton candy and iced tea. That's important to Alabama because there's no better iced tea than an Alabama, y'all. I'm sure you know that if you had some.
Yeah, I'm not a big iced tea drinker, but
I know you're a cotton
I'll dig
candy
into
guy.
I'll dig into that cotton candy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I will get busy.
Look, there's sweet tea, and there's sweet tea in the South. Which is the sweet tea? No other sweet tea. They just call it that. They just put some sugar in it at the end. No. Rob Vaughn knows what that's like now being in Alabama. He's a Texas guy, though, and he told us earlier this week, you know what? I just want to get some good Mexican food here. Plenty of places to get that. Ethan Walker is on the mound for Texas, getting the ninth. He faced two lefties yesterday, got them both out, and here facing Brendan Holt to begin the top of the ninth inning. Junior from Ashburn, Virginia, trying to keep this at 2-0 Alabama.
I think it was the same order sequence as when he came in yesterday as well. If not, it's pretty close to it.
Tailing foul left side, Pack running at it. Oh, slides and out of play. Pack all right. Now you're correct. He began the eighth and got Holt and the man on deck, Bryce Fowler. Did Ethan Walker.
It's so valuable to have pieces. Your offensive lineup needs to be able to match up when you get late in games, right, left, and have, you know, really good pinch hitters or guys you can substitute in, base runners, base stealers. And then particularly on the mound, you get down to those last 9 outs, and to have somebody that you can go match up with that's got a weapon of angle, which is what this is, a left-handed side angle or three-quarter angle.
And that's high 2-2.
Yeah, and it makes it hard on these left-handed hitters. And oftentimes in a college lineup, historically, 3 of your better hitters in the lineup are going to be left-handed in college baseball, or at least 2 of them.
Bottom of the ninth for Texas. Adrian Rodriguez, Anthony Pack Jr., Ethan Mendoza are due up. Just 2 hits for the Longhorns, 8 for Alabama. Longhorns are 30-7 overall, but 2-5 coming in when getting out hit. Pack, one of the 2 hits today for Texas. Alabama looking for some insurance and hoping to end a 5-game conference losing streak. That's call strike 3, first out of the ninth.
This is hard. It's your left-handed hitter. He's on the first base side of the rubber, steps way over towards the dugout, and then throws back across the left-handed hitter's front shoulder and front hip. And it's you don't see enough of it, and it is a challenge. It's not about the velo. It's about the angle.
It doesn't give you much either as far as your timing mechanism, because he's coming from the stretch, and it's almost like a slide step almost because of where it is. You got to try to pick up the location of his release point. It's tough. It's tough.
0-2 to Fowler. Struck out his first 3 times up, but then in his 4th at bat against Luke Harris in a key single because he would later score a Brady Neal double play ball. Ethan Walker has worked himself into being a pivotal middle reliever for Texas. 2-2 the count. course, who can forget his first career start? He took a no-hitter into the 5th against Tennessee last year's SEC tournament. Wound up allowing 1 earned run. Volunteers would win in extras. He's just allowed 3 earned runs this year in 12 innings. Fowler stays alive.
Even if you're a right-handed hitter, you don't see the ball come from that angle very often. And then you start leaning out over the plate, and you start thinking, all right, I'm going to lean out there, and then he throws that breaker in your back foot, and it's a challenge for them as well.
Into the glove of Ethan Mendoza.
Kind of a challenge to hit a line drive when you got 3 defenders on the same on that side of the field as well. That ball was hit well.
2 down, and will Walker get to face a righty? First, another look at the liner.
Mendoza out there in the
Rover position.
rover, yeah.
So here's LeBron. Caught a look at all his web gems today. Not long ago, his single came in the 7th, and he gets hit. So they kept Walker in to face the righty, and LeBron trots to first.
Well, now comes the game of, does LeBron try to get out of there and steal second base?
Brady Neal, a left-handed hitter, but Alabama's best this season, now steps into the batter's box.
Yeah, I'm with you on the thought process about the base running and trying to figure out how big of a lead is he going to have over there. Got hit, you know, sometimes that gives you a little attitude and think, okay, you know what, I'm about to steal these bases. Even though it wasn't a bad throw at pitch or anything like that, but the athletic mentality of a player like himself, I think he's going to be ready to start some action right here.
Well, the thing for Walker is that's part of his delivery. He leans out that way like he's going towards first base anyway. You get a good look at Justin LeBron, and the steal number is from 7 to 17 to 32.
And 32 attempts. Off the fist, Rodriguez has to charge on to first in time to end the top of the 9th. Walker gets all 3 left-handed batters he faces. Texas needs 2 to keep this going. Alabama has done it with the arms today and with the defense. They look to shut out Texas and get a win in this 3-game set. Alabama pitching has held Texas to just 2 hits. Kyle Upchurch, 5 1/3 brilliant innings as the starter, and Crowther, Ashton Crowther, 2 2/3, allowing just 1 hit. And he will start the 9th. Adrian Rodriguez, Anthony Pack Jr., Ethan Mendoza due up. Alabama's closer, Hagan Banks, is warming up in the bullpen, but Crowther again begins the 9th. as Alabama looks to take the final game of this 3-game series. With Ty Harrington and Mike Harge, I'm David Salzman from UFCU Dish Falk Field in Austin. First pitch strike to Rodriguez, who's 0 for 2 today with a walk. Chase Kroberger is in left field for Eric Hines, the only defensive replacement for Alabama so far. To center, Fowler, 1 down.
I think that he's throwing the ball well enough. Why disrupt it at this point and go to your close? I mean, you feel comfortable. You know, you had a switch hitter up first and Rodriguez, and now you got left-handed hitting Pack. But I think this is just, you know, maybe if somebody gets on, then they go to him to give him somebody different to look at. But both have thrown the ball so good. It's a lot of strikes and a lot of disruptive strikes.
Pack, an infield hit in the third, 1 for 3.
I think you're right, David. You had mentioned it. You know, his longest outing was 3 innings. They stretched him a little bit. And now here he is, 3 1/3. It would be 3 1/3 if he can finish out this inning. So your call was spot on for him being able to lengthen some things out.
Yeah, he doesn't have a save, but it's just a 35 pitches so far in his outing. Alabama allowed 10 Texas runs on Friday. Pitching's been awfully good since. 2-1 to Pack with Mendoza on deck.
There hasn't been a ton of guys left on base either.
Right.
I mean, it's been Alabama from the mound all day.
To center, this is carrying. Fowler on the run. Dives, can't get there. Pack on his way to second, stands with a double.
Right, we've talked about the wind all day and it knocking balls down. If you're going to hit one through this wind or that traffic up in the air, you've got to absolutely land on it. And Anthony Pack lands all over this baseball. Right in the middle part of the plate, doesn't try to pull it, which is his forte, stays in behind it. I mean, he hits it into the teeth of the wind over the center fielder's head and comes up with a double.
Great effort by Fowler, just off the tip of the glove. Gave it everything that he had, but you mentioned it about Anthony Pack Jr. and what he's able to do at the dish.
Mendoza up the middle, base hit. Pack rounds third. He'll score. Longhorns have cut the deficit in half.
I know everybody thinks the game of baseball is slow and it takes forever, but then all of a sudden, bam, bam, and the game gets really fast, and that's exactly what just has happened. You come up with a double from Pack. Mendoza grabs and ambushes the first pitch in the middle part of the plate, hits it right back up the middle where he's really good when he's going back up the middle and the other way. And I think now we're going to see Alabama make a pitching change.
Kind of to the point of what we were talking about, the reason and the why behind. Lefty's out there doing really, really well, keeping guys off balance. If he makes that catch in center field, Fowler gave us great effort. If he makes that catch in center field, it's a totally different inning, and everything changes a little bit more. And then Mendoza, as you said, ambushed that first pitch down the middle and hit it right back where it came from.
Are they going to stay with him? Looked like they were going to make a change. They kept looking out the pen, and Banks has been hot. And so, look, it's just, you know, coaches, you make decisions that you feel good about. I mean, that's the pitching coach going out there to make that choice.
Yeah, Banks has not allowed an earned run in his last 7 appearances, 6 of those coming against SEC foes. But Crowther stays in with the tying run at first and the winning run, Tema Becerra, coming to the plate.
And I think Texas has gone to a pinch runner at first base for Mendoza.
Thank you. Maddox Mansour is at first base for Mendoza, representing the tying run. Becerra singled in the 7th, 1 for 3. Steady all season, and he has been in this type of spot often in his career. Previous 4 seasons at Stanford. Mansour 4 for 4 stealing bases this season. Left side could be 2, but it's bobbled by Torres onto second. That's the only play. 2 down. Becerra at first on the fielder's choice.
Got him out front. Like something running away from him. Got him out front, swung over the top of it. In between hop, Torres did, the third baseman. But when he fed the second baseman Holt, Holt became a first baseman. Let's make sure we get an out. We're 1 out away from winning the game. Let's don't try to turn a double play. And they secured the out at second base.
And now the freshman, Presley Corville, tries to keep this game alive for the Longhorns. Perfect game ranked him as the #1 catcher in the state of Louisiana last year. He was playing this time last year at Powerhouse Barb High School in Lake Charles. He's 5 for 12 this season, 0 for 1 today. One and one.
That's one you're looking for right there. One that was elevated. I don't know if the take sign was in there. Make him work until he gets a strike, but that's one that you're looking for to hammer.
Two and one.
Situations as a hitter, you're searching for your emotions to stay within yourself, to do what you're capable of. And as a pitcher, you're trying to execute what you think you do best.
3 and 1.
Now you're looking as a hitter, you're looking in one window. If that ball falls in that window and you're active as a hitter, if it doesn't, move on to the next pitch.
Full count.
Advantage 2 for Becerra now. As he'll be off on the pitch, but he also has to make sure with the left-handed pitcher that they don't pick. So he won't get as good a jump getting out of there.
Swing and a miss. Alabama survives and takes the final game of this 3-game series.
Alabama did exactly what they needed to do. Guys, I mean, they had to come out here and throw some zeros up. I don't think anybody thought it was going to be a shutout or have to be able to go through Texas's lineup that many times. But you heard Rob Vaughn talk about his team. They're bar fighters, and they get back up off the canvas, and they did today.
The reaction from Justin LeBron, who's one of the MVPs of this game, no question, especially defensively with what we saw with his glove this afternoon. Alabama breaks a 5-game SEC losing streak. It's their first win over Texas in 122 years and just their second all time. They avoid the sweep as they even their conference record. Texas falls to 11-6 in conference play. We do expect to hear from Justin LeBron in just a minute or two. What a performance by him, and overall for Alabama. Again, that 5-game conference losing streak, a win that they sorely needed, Mike.
Well, I know we're going to talk to Justin LeBron, but the story is Upchurch and what he was able to do and this pitching staff. He was a little erratic early in the ball game, first inning, but after that he settled down, was able to make quality pitches, as Coach Todd said, sped guys up, never hit the ball really hard at all off of him today, and now they got to regroup to make sure that things are right.
Alabama will take the flight back to Tuscaloosa, salvaging the final game of this series, and we are joined now by Alabama's Justin LeBron, a 2-1 Alabama win. Justin, thanks for joining us. Congrats on the win. David Salzman here with Mike Harge and Ty Harrington. I mean, yesterday you had the lead late. Texas rallies in the 7th for the win. And then today you're able to hold on after a Texas rally in the 9th. How important is it to break that 5-game conference losing streak in terms of confidence heading into next week and the rest of the conference schedule?
Yeah, it's huge. We're in a really tough conference, and really anytime you can go ahead and take one from a really good team, and it's kind of all we were looking for. I mean, we come in today just trying to fight and just trying to do what we do best and just fight and just know that we can come out with anything as long as we play together.
I got to ask, look, offense is what everybody always loves to talk about the most and probably gets highlighted more than any other thing in baseball, it seems like. But your defense this weekend was through the roof, and you knew you were going to have to make some big plays, particularly with the type of arms y'all ran out there today where it's going to be a lot of ground balls. Tell us a little bit about how much pride you do take in your defense.
Yeah, honestly, this year has been a little bit of a struggle for me, but honestly, I'm really tough, and it doesn't matter how many errors I make. I'm just going to keep going on the next one. And I knew today was going to be a big game. We had to take one, obviously, but any play that was hit to me, I just knew that I had to go ahead and try and get it done.
Justin, I wanted to ask you, Mike Harge here, I wanted to ask you about that at bat late in the ball game. I saw that you kind of spread yourself out a little bit, even choked up on the end of the bat, and I noticed that right away. Was that more for you to just stay locked in and not try to do so much, but more trying to stay focused on hitting the ball hard up the middle?
Yeah, that was a little bit of both. Honestly, whenever I get to 2 strikes, I usually like to spread it and probably choke up just a little bit. I mean, my thought process is not trying to hit a home run. It's really just trying to get on base, make a play happen, even if it's an error. I was just trying to put a ball in play, and just so happens that they shifted me.
Justin, congrats on the win. Safe travels home.
Thank you. Roll Tide.
A hit for LeBron today gives him a 10-game hit streak, but as you said, Ty and Mike, the defense really was the story for the future first-round draft pick. Texas takes 2 of 3, but Alabama with the win today, 2-1. For Ty Harrington and Mike Harge, I'm David Salzman saying so long from UFCU, Dish Falk Field. Justin LeBron and company win the 3rd game of this set.